Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I offer my humble obeisances and to all the devotees who are assembled here today. I seek blessings from Her Grace Gita Mataji, who is here with us today. With your permission, I will begin this last session on Krishna's Leela.
Hare Hare.
We have been discussing Krishna's Nama, Rupa and Guna in the last 3 days. So today we will discuss a little bit about the Leela of the Lord. Krishna's Leelas are most enchanting. And Krishna performs so many Leelas in so many forms, in different avatars. But of all the Leelas, Krishna's pastimes as a Gopal, as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan Dham, are considered most enchanting and very sweet. But before entering into the sweetest Vraja Leelas of Krishna, let us discuss the significance of any pastime of Krishna. Why Krishna descends on this planet? Why Krishna performs various pastimes? In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the sages of Naimisharanya requested Suta Goswami to explain the reason for Krishna's descent as the child of Devaki and Vasudeva. Then Suta Goswami said, Lord Krishna descended as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva to reclaim the conditioned souls, especially those who have managed to come to mode of goodness. To reclaim the souls in the mode of goodness, the Lord appears. And as all of you know, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chatushrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord also descends on this planet to protect the righteous, to punish the vicious, and to establish Dharma. So, further, Kunti Maharani also describes the purpose of Lord's descent. Bhavesmin Krishya Bhadanam Avidya Kama Karmabhi Shravana Smaranarhani Karishyan Iti Kechana. Bhavesmin Krishya Bhadanam. In this material world, so many people are undergoing so many kleshas, so many difficulties, so many sufferings. Why? Avidya, because of their ignorance. That avidya leads to kama. Due to ignorance, they have so many material desires. And kama leads to karma. Because of material desires, they perform material activities. And karma leads to klesha. Because of material activities, there are material reactions and suffering. To terminate this cycle and to rejuvenate the process of bhakti, Krishna appears. Avidya kama karma bhihi shravana smarana arhani karishyan iti kechana. He wanted to introduce this process of shravana, smarana, arhana, hearing about the Lord, remembering the Lord, and worshipping the Lord, and thus the Lord descends. So the Lord descends to reclaim the living entities. The Lord descends to spread the process of devotional service, and more importantly, the Lord descends to perform so many sweet pastimes with His devotees. That's most exciting to Krishna. To perform loving pastimes with His devotees is more exciting to Krishna. Creation, destruction, punishing miscreants, establishing good dharma all are there. But most exciting for Krishna is to perform enchanting pastimes with his devotees. So the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Rasa Panchadhyaya, concludes with this beautiful shloka. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashritah bhajate tadrishi krida yah shrutva tatparo bhavet anugrahaya bhaktanam, to show anugraha on his devotees. Manusham deham ashritah. The Lord appears as a human being on this planet, Rama, Krishna. Bhajate tadrishi kriyadah. Kriyada means pastimes. Yaha shrutva tatparo bhavet. When you worship the Supreme Lord Krishna, bhajate, and also tadrishi kriyada yaha shrutva. When you hear his enchanting pastimes, tatparo bhavet, we become more dedicated to him. We develop love towards him. We develop a mode of surrender to him by hearing his enchanting leelas. That's why Krishna enacts leelas to induce a feeling of surrender within us. Bhajate tadrishi kriyada yaha shrutva tatparo bhavet. So we have to hear them. As the first canto of Bhagavatam says, why did Vyasadeva compile Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the purpose of hearing or studying Srimad Bhagavatam? Yasyam vaisruya bhadayam Krishne paramapurushi bhaktirutpadyate pumsah shokam moha bhayapaha. Yasyam vaisruya bhadayam, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate. We develop a feeling of devotion, bhakti unto Krishna. Love for Krishna is developed by hearing Bhagavatam. And shoka, moha, bhaya, lamentation, fear, illusion will automatically go away. That's a byproduct. But hearing Srimad Bhagavatam that describes the enchanting leelas of Krishna will enhance our love for Krishna. Thus we can transcend the illusions and fears and lamentation of this material world and rise to a spiritual platform. So Krishna has a great kingdom of spiritual world where so many devotees are lovingly serving him. You see, if you go to Vaikuntha, what's happening in Vaikuntha? Vaimanika salalanas charitani shashvat gayanti yatra shamalaha kshapanani bhartuhu antarjalenu vikasan madhumadhavinam gandhena khandita dhiyopyanilam kshipantah. Vaimanika salalana. All the Vishnu Parshadas, all the Vishnu Dutas, they have their own private airplanes. And their Hemamayir Vimanaihi, their golden airplanes bedecked with so many expensive gems. So these Vaikuntha-vasis are traveling in those airplanes along with their consorts and doing what? They are glorifying Krishna. They are chanting the holy names of Krishna and discussing Krishna's pastimes. Lord Hari's pastimes. Antarjalenu vikasan madhumadhavinam. As they are flying in the airplanes, the fragrance emanating from the madhumadhavi flowers that are nicely blooming in the water reservoirs of Vaikuntha, that fragrance enters their nostrils. They think that, oh, this fragrance is disturbing us from our Harikatha. Of course, that is spiritual fragrance. But still, they are not interested in enjoying the fragrance. They are interested in glorifying Lord Hari. That's how, without any deviation, without any distraction, with complete focus, with complete dedication, without any material miseries, the Vaikuntha-vasis are glorifying Krishna and serving Krishna. Why Krishna has to come to this material world? If he has so many loving devotees serving him with so much dedication, what is the need for Krishna to descend on this material planet? Here there are so many people who are not worshipping Krishna, not loving Krishna, they are not even acknowledging his presence. Krishna himself says in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Mudhas, Namam dushkritano mudha prapadyante naradhamaha. When I appear in a human form of life, there are so many people who consider my human form as ordinary, who consider my descent as ordinary. They hate me. Some people say God doesn't exist. Some people say God is dead. Some people say I am God. Some people say God is light. Some people say God is love. Some people say God is compassion, humanity. Some people say God is poor people. Poor man is God. Daridra Narayana. So different people have different conceptions about God. But still, to reclaim all these conditioned souls, Krishna is descending from the spiritual world. How merciful he is. When somebody has 100 branches in a company, 99 branches are performing well, one branch is only incurring losses. And the employees are fighting with each other. They're hating the boss. Whenever the boss goes there, they try to attack the boss, blaspheme the boss, scold him, blame him. The boss would conveniently close down that branch. But our supreme boss, Krishna, wouldn't close the branch. He would descend into the branch in hundreds of incarnations. Purushavatas, leelas, gunavataras, manvantravataras, Shaktyavishavataras. He appears in so many avatars to perform so many pastimes and attract our attention towards him and induce some inspiration within us to reconnect with him, to go back to him. That's the purpose of Krishna's descents. Whatever leelas he is doing, he can do it in the spiritual world. But in the material world, Krishna's leelas are specifically meant to attract his conditioned souls who are averse to a sense of subordination towards him. Janasya Krishna vibhukhasya daivat. They have turned their faces away from Krishna. However, is that the only purpose of Krishna's descent? No. Attracting the conditioned souls towards spiritual world and inducing them to perform bhakti is definitely a very important purpose of Krishna's descent. But Krishna also enacts his leelas as a human being, especially in the material world, to experience loving exchanges with his pure-hearted devotees. Because if Krishna alone comes in this world amidst all conditioned souls, it's a bit austerity for Krishna. When he descends, he also brings some of his eternal associates also. Yashoda Mata comes, Nanda Maharaj comes, before he appears. Before he appears as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagannath Mishra, Sachi Mata, Advaita Acharya, so many such devotees come. The Lord comes along with his descendants and he has his own special exchanges. With Yashoda Mata he does Damodara Lila. With the gopis he does Rasa Lila. With the Gopas he would just jump like frogs and dance like peacocks, steal each other's lunch bags and steal butter from other gopis' homes. So he has his own entourage, he has his own companions, eternal associates with whom he performs pastimes also. Apart from attracting the attention of conditioned souls. He has his own pleasure, spiritual pleasure. But as an extra austerity, the Lord also orchestrates Kurukshetra war, kills demons, does the Srishti Lila. He's excited with Rasa Lila, but he does Srishti Lila also. But both Leelas have to be performed. Some for the conditioned souls, some for the spiritual, some for eternal associates. So, in connection with the conditioned souls, the Lord is very compassionate and is compassionately manifesting all these leelas. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manushim deham ashritah. Ya bhukti lakshmir bhuvika mukanam.
Ya bhukti lakshmir bhuvika mukanam.
Ya mukti lakshmir hridiyoga bhajam.
Ya mukti lakshmir hridiyoga bhajam.
Nanda Lakshmi Rasikendra Maule
Nanda Lakshmi Rasikendra Maule
Sakapi Lila Avatu Madhavasya
Sakapi Lila Avatu Madhavasya
Ya Bhukti Lakshmi Bhuvi Kamukana. There are Kamukas in this world. Means those are filled with so many material desires. Hedonists. Ya Bhukti Lakshmi Bhuvi Kamukana. They aspire for Bhukti. These Kamuka materialistic people, they aspire for a lot of material enjoyment, bhukti. Then Ya Mukti Lakshmi Hridi Yoga Bhaja. There are some yogis. They are from Ashtanga Yoga. They want Mukti Lakshmi, the opulence of liberation. These first category people, they want the opulence of material enjoyment. Yananda Lakshmi Rasikendra Maule. There are some Rasikendra Maule. They are enjoyers. They are not Bhuvi Bhavika, Rasika Bhu Bhavika, they are different. There are other rasikas who take pleasure in some nectar, drinking nectar. Sakapi Lila Avatu Madhavasya. The pleasure available in Lord Madhava's Leelas surpasses the pleasure that is accessible to Kamukas, Yoga Bhajas and Rasikendra Maulis also. Right? So the pleasure of Krishna's pastimes would effortlessly surpass the pleasure available in material enjoyment, liberation, and drinking nectar also. It is a different nectar. Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu piyusha niryapita deha dharmaha. Devotees sit together. Parasparam tad gunavada sidhu. They drink the nectar of Krishna's leelas. Piyusha niryapita deha dharmaha. Krishna Katha has some Krishna leelas, and Krishna Katha in general has the effect of an intoxicant, has the effect of nectar both. Nectar is enjoyable. Intoxicant has a different effect. Somebody drinks intoxicant and he goes into a different planet only. And is totally transcendental to what's happening around him. Right? I have no experience in this lifetime. But when somebody drinks alcohol or whatever, material intoxicant, then they become totally oblivious. To the degree they drink this intoxicant, to that degree they become oblivious to the surroundings. Similarly, to the degree a devotee drinks the real intoxicating beverage of Hari Krishna, Hari Katha, Hari Lila, then they become transcendental to all temptations and tribulations in this material world. They are unaffected by all the comments made by people. You know that shloka? Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna pada bhujan Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana Grihnantu munchantu van Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja Vamshe kalankostu va Tadrik premadharanu raga madhuna Mattaya manam tumi Mattaya. Let my mind not get deviated from meditation on Krishna's lotus feet even for a moment. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna pada bhujan Nindantu priya bandhava. Let my own relatives accuse me, criticize me. Grihanantu munchantu. Let them accept me or reject me. Prahlad Maharaj's own relatives, his own father was chastising him, criticizing him. But Prahlad says, no, I will not give up attachment to the lotus feet of the Lord. Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostu va. Durvadam, let there be gossip that spread about me. Vamshe kalankostu va. Let people blame that I am bringing some bad name to our dynasty. Shanda and Amarka told Prahlad, you are bringing a great bad name to our dynasty. Our dynasty, Rakshasa dynasty, is like a sandalwood forest. And Vishnu is like an axe. You are like the handle of the axe. You are cutting down the dynasty of Rakshasas. Let them criticize. What difference does it make? Tatrik premadharanu raga madhuna mattaya manam tume. By drinking the nectar of Krishna's love that's available to us, by hearing Hari Katha, by getting intoxicated by Hari Katha, I become oblivious to all these comments and criticism and blasphemy and blames. So, a devotee is not deprived of any enjoyment. In fact, devotee has a higher taste. So, all these lower sources of enjoyment are not considered as enjoyment by a devotee only, because they are getting intoxicated by hearing Krishna's leelas. He says, Mukundamala Sutra, again, Kulashekara Albert says, Nathe dhatari bhogi bhoga shayane narayane madhave.
Nathe dhatri bhogi bhoga shayane narayane madhave.
Deve devaki nandane suravare chakrayudhe sangini.
Deve devaki nandane suravare chakrayudhe sangini.
Leela sesha jagat prapancha jathare vishveshware sridhare.
Leela sesha jagat prapancha jathare vishveshware sridhare.
Govinde kuru chitta vritti bachalam anyaistu kim vartanaihi.
Govinde kuru chitta vritti bachalam anyaistu kim vartanaihi.
Nathe dhatari bhogi bhoga shayane. That Natha, the Supreme Lord, Bhogi Bhoga Shayane, is a Dhata, is a creator, is the maintainer, and he sleeps on this great snake bed, Ananta Sesha bed, Bhogi Bhoga Shayani, Narayane Madhave, Deve Devaki Nandane, Surabare, Chakrayudhe Sandhini. Is Devaki Nandana? He is the best of all gods, and he has this Chakrayudha, he has Sanga Dhanva, and also, this is the main point. Leela Sesha Jagat Prapancha Jathare Vishweshware Sridhare. Leela Sesha, he performs unlimited pastimes. As Purushavasaras, Jagat Prapancha Jathare, this entire universe came from his womb, from his bodily pores, and he expands himself as Garbhodakasa Vishnu to each of those Brahmandas, and he manifests the entire planetary systems. Then, within those planets, he appears in various forms. Tiryan Rishishu Yadashu Tadakyanta Vedambana. He appears as animals sometimes, he appears as human beings sometimes, he appears amongst the devatas sometimes, he appears amongst the aquatic sometimes. Leela Sesha, unlimited pastimes, in unlimited incarnations. Just count how many Yugavataras are there in one day of Brahma. 1000 Yuga cycles. Means 4000 Yugavataras. How many Manvantara avatars? 40 Manvantara avatars. There are 3 Guna avatars and 3 Purusha avatars clear. Unlimited Leela avatars. So many Shakya avatars within one day of Brahma. And how many such incarnations are there within 1 month of Brahma, 1 year of Brahma, 100 years of Brahma? And if you take other great Brahmandas into consideration, how many incarnations, how many more incarnations are there? And all these incarnations exhibit their leelas for one breathing period of Mahavishnu. When he inhales, this is closed. When he exhales, again, all these incarnations are manifested. How many times? Leela Sesha Jagat Prapancha Jathare Vishweshware Sridhare Govinde Kuru Chitta Vritti Machalam Anyaistu Kimvartanaihi. So let us focus our chitta only on Govinda by absorbing our minds in the finer glances of the leelas and the wonderful insights and lessons that these leelas are revealing to us, and all the nectar that is inherently present, intrinsically present in those leelas. So that is life. To get absorbed in the leelas of Krishna is life. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is praying for. Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya.
Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya.
Leela kathastavan nrsimha virincha gita.
Leela kathastavan nrsimha virincha gita.
Agnastitarmya nagrinan gunavit pramukto.
Agnastitarmya gunavit pramukto.
Durgani te padayugalaya hamsa sangha.
Durgani te padayugalaya hamsa sangha.
Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya. Oh my dear Narasimhadev. You know what is my desire? Leela kathas tavan nrsimha virincha gita. I just want to absorb my mind in your Leela Katha. And somebody is narrating your enchanting pastimes. I just want to hear the pastimes and absorb myself. Tavan Nrsimha Virincha Gita. He says Virinchi. Virinchi is Brahma. Brahma could not offer prayers to Narasimhadev and pacify him. Not only Brahma, so many great devatas are there. When Lord Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, so many devatas tried to pacify him by offering prayers. Vidyadharas, Charanas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, Vishnu Parshadas, Monus, Brahmarshis, Rajarshis, Devarshis, Nagas. So many people offered prayers. 7th and 8th chapter is filled with those prayers. Nobody could manage to pacify Narasimhadev. Then Brahma came to Prahlad and said, Prahlad, can you go and pacify Narasimhadev? So Prahlad took that opportunity and went in front of the Lord with absolutely no pride. The first word that came out of his mouth is Brahma. Brahma failed to appease you, and I am here to appease you, to pray, to praise you, to pacify you, to control your anger. See, I am doing some activity which all the devatas and sages failed to do. Still Prahlad had absolutely no pride. ब्रह्मादयस्सुरगणा मुनयोऽथ सिद्धा सत्त्वैकतानगतयो वचसां प्रवाहैः नाराधितुं पुरुगणैरधुनापि पिप्रू किं तोष्टुमर्हति समे हरिरुग्रजातेः. Brahma failed, all the Suraganas failed, and Munayo Atha Siddha, great sages failed, Siddhas, perfected beings failed. And what is their qualification? Sattvaikataanagatayo. They are too much in goodness. And I am a Ugrajati person. I am a person from the demonic dynasty. And I am too much into ignorance and passion. I don't have the sattva that they have. On top of it, they are vachasam pravahahi. Their words are just flowing like pravaha. Seamless flow of words. They are not getting stuck everywhere, searching for words. Vachasam pravahahi. They are extremely eloquent. But they could not please you. I don't have eloquence. How can I please you? So, very humbly, he established himself in an inferior position compared to where Brahma stands. Just because we are asked to do some privileged service, we cannot think we are so qualified. Just because others are not doing this service and they are asking us to do this service, that does not mean they are not qualified. When we do that service, thinking that we are qualified, then something wrong in our basic understanding of Vaishnavism. Devotees encourage us to do this service. They bless us. They empower us. Without their merciful glances, we won't be able to do this service. Right? So, Prahlad had this complete understanding. No pride. Now, few slokas down the line, he says this. Soham priyasya suhrudah paradevataya leela kathastava nrisimha virincha gitaha. Virincha gitaha. Brahma praised you. Brahma offered you prayers. I want to follow in the footsteps of Brahma and praise you. So Brahma failed to pacify me. How can you follow in his footsteps? See, Narasimha is not questioning. Narasimha is very happy with the humility of Prahlad. So our praising of the leelas of the Lord must be in line with the great acharyas. If we think we can praise the Lord, we can explain the Lord's pastimes better than what acharyas have done, that's an illusion. We are representatives of acharyas. When we are describing Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila or whatever, we are a humble representative of acharyas, not replacement for the acharyas. We are not here to substitute them, but as a subordinate to them, let's transmit the transcendental knowledge that they have given us. Leela kathastava nrisimha virincha gita. So I want to absorb my mind in your Leela Katha by following the footsteps of the acharyas. So without reference to our glorious Vaishnava acharyas, our meditation on Leelas, our discussion on Leelas could be at the best speculation. So we don't want to speculate, we want to follow. There can be realizations, no problem. But in line with the Acharya's teachings. We can think out of the box, we can read between lines, but in line with the parampara. That's what he says. Leela kathastava nrisimha virincha gita. Next. What is the effect of absorbing our minds in the Leela Katha of the Lord? Yatredyante katha vrishta.
Yatredyante katha vrishta.
Krishnaya prashamo yatah.
Krishnaya prashamo yatah.
Nirvairam yatra bhuteshu.
Nirvairam yatra bhuteshu.
Nodvego yatra kaschana.
Nodvego yatra kaschana.
Yatra narayana sakshat.
Yatra narayana sakshat.
Bhagavan yasinam gatihi.
Bhagavan yasinam gatihi.
Samstuyate satkathasu.
Samstuyate satkathasu.
Mukta sangaihi punaha punaha.
Mukta sangaihi punaha punaha.
These are the prayers of Prachetas. Prahlad said, I want to praise your Leela Katha, following the footsteps of Acharyas. What Pracheta is saying? We are also inclined to praise your Katha or hear someone who is praising your Leelas. What is the effect of doing that? Yatredyante Katha Vrishta. Wherever devotees gather together and absorbing their minds in Krishna's Leela Katha, Trishnayaha prasamo yatha. First effect of that is all Trishnas are destroyed. When we absorb our minds in Krishna, there is no Trishna. Trishna means hankering to enjoy in a material plane. Krishna is the all-attractive Supreme Lord. When we focus our mind on Krishna, there is no Trishna. Without Trishna, we can absorb our minds in Krishna better. But to eliminate the Trishna in our hearts, we have to hear Krishna Katha. With lot of Trishnas in the heart, we hear Krishna Katha. Then Trishnas are removed by Krishna. He enters the ear, right? Pravishtaha karnarandhrena svanam bhavasarodham dhunoti shamalam Krishna. He will remove all Trishnas and anarthas. Then with that purified heart, we can release Krishna Katha even better. Right? So, he says, Trishnayaha prasamoyatha. What is that shloka in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam? Nivritta tarshai upagiyamana bhavaushadhat shrotra manobhiramat ka uttama shloka gunanuvadat puman virajyeta vina pashubhnat. Nivritta tarshai means one who is completely devoid of all material hankerings can glorify Krishna's Leela Katha, can relish Krishna's Leela Katha. They are saying, Krishnayaha prashamo yatha. First effect is, our material hankerings are destroyed. Second, nirvairam yatra bhuteshu. Nirvairam means absolutely no envy. Who can relish Krishna Katha? One who has no envy. Non-envy is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna said. Yatam tute guhyatamam pravakshyam yanasuyavi. You are anasuyavi. You have no envy. Therefore I am teaching Bhagavad Gita to you. Bhagavatam, nirmatsaranam satam vedyam. Bhagavatam is understandable to people who have no envy in the heart. How to destroy that envy? Yatredyante kathamrishtaha. Absorb your mind in Krishna Katha. Then nirvairam yatra bhuteshu will become non-envious. No dvego yatra kaschana. Na udvega. Third effect is, there is no anxiety. First effect is, no material hankerings. Second effect is, no envy. Third effect is, no anxieties, no fears in the heart. Why? Yatra narayanaha sakshat bhagavan yasinam gati. Because wherever devotees are gathering and discussing Krishna Katha, Bhagavan Nyasinam Gati, Narayana, that Narayana who is the object of all Nyasis, Sannyasis, he will sit there. Prabhupada quotes in his purports, Racheta's purports. He says, Yatra Gayanti Madbhakta Tatra Tishtami Narada. Prabhupada quotes this shloka. Wherever devotees are gathering together to discuss Krishna Katha, Krishna Leelas, Narayana also sits there. Krishna also sits there. Yamaraj also sits there. People will not die. Right? RSVP, there is Yamaraj also there. So, in all Zoom calls, extra login is Yamaraj. Invisible login. He gets Zoom link. You don't have to send him on WhatsApp. So, yatra Narayana sakshat bhagavan yasinangati samstuyate satkatha mukta sangaihi punaha punaha. He will release us from all kinds of material misgivings. So this is the effect of getting absorbed in Krishna Leelas. In the Gopis of Vrindavan, they say. 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the essence. Yesterday we saw one essence. Bhagavad Gita's essence. Essence of the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence, right? Gita is the essence of all scriptures. Sarvopanishado Gavo. Essence of Gita is Bhakti Yoga. Essence of Bhakti Yoga is middle two chapters. Essence of middle two chapters is Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Essence of that is always remember Krishna. This is another essence. Bhagavatam is the essence of all scriptures. Within the Bhagavatam, 10th canto is the essence. Within the 10th canto, the Rasa Panchadhyaya is the essence. Within the Rasa Panchadhyaya, the middle chapter, there are 5 chapters. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Within this, the middle chapter, which is Gopi Gita, is even more essential. Within that Gopi Gita that has about 18, 19 shlokas, the 9th shloka is very exciting. This is where Pratap Maharaj could completely capture the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by singing this shloka. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kaviviridikam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadattatam bhuvigantiye bhuridajana. I heard this Gopi Gita first from His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So much absorption he sings. Tava Kathamritam. What is the meaning of Tava Kathamritam? Krishna Katha is of two types. Number one, Katha spoken by Krishna, like Gita, Aruddhava Gita. Katha spoken about Krishna. Many devotees are speaking. Sukadeva Goswami is speaking. Even Lord Chaitanya speaks many times. So Katha spoken by Krishna, Katha spoken about Krishna. That is Tava Kathamritam. That is good for kids. Okay? Hear carefully. Tava Kathamritam shloka. Tava Kathamritam is two types of kathas. Okay? Second, Tapta Jivanam. Tapta means one who is suffering. Jivana means life for them. Krishna Katha is the life of all those who are suffering. Suffering people are of two categories. Who are they? Number one, the conditioned souls suffer because of their ignorance, because of their false ego, because of their material desires. They suffer. That's one category of suffering people. For them, Krishna Katha is Tapta Jivanam. They are one category of Tapta. Their Jivan is Krishna Katha. When you hear Krishna Katha, when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the suffering of the conditioned souls is mitigated. You want a proof? Simple. Soham dranam kshulla sukhaya dukkham mahadgatanam viramaya tasya pravartaye bhagavatam puranam yadaha sakshat bhagavan rishibhyah. Soham dranam kshulla sukhaya. Common people in this world, for kshulla sukha, for meager amount of happiness, mahad dukkham, they are experiencing tremendous amount of distress. Is it worth? Kshulla sukhaya mahad dukkham viramaya tasya. To stop this unnecessary, foolish endeavor, pravartaye bhagavatam puranam. The Supreme Lord spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So Bhagavatam is relevant for conditioned souls also. Suffering, struggling, egoistic conditioned souls can take shelter of Bhagavatam. Because they are in Tapta, Bhagavatam is Jivanam. Krishna Katha is Jivanam for them. Second category of Tapta, suffering souls, are the devotees of Krishna. Elevated devotees of Krishna. They suffer because of their feelings of separation from Krishna. Conditioned souls suffer because they are separated from Krishna. Both are in separation from Krishna. But conditioned souls can't realize that they are in separation from Krishna, can't understand that their suffering is because of their separation from Krishna. 11th canto Bhagavatam says that if you think that suffering comes because of any other reason other than separation from Krishna, you are an illusion. Real suffering is because of separation from Krishna. Conditioned soul's separation from Krishna is characterized by his false ego, by his forgetfulness of Krishna. But a pure devotee's suffering is characterized by remembrance of Krishna and missing Krishna, missing Krishna's leelas. So the second category has so many examples. One direct example now is the gopis. We are suffering, we are tapta, we are our jivanam. Please come here. When the gopis of Vrindavan are suffering in separation from Krishna, you know what pacified them? What kept them alive? They were meditating on Krishna's pastimes. Not just meditating, they were enacting Krishna's pastimes. One gopi becomes Kaliya, another gopi becomes Krishna and dances on the Kaliya gopi's head. One gopi becomes Putana, another gopi becomes Krishna, and this Krishna gopi will kill Putana gopi. This leela enacting. One gopi will become maybe Govardhan mountain, another gopi will lift that gopi. Probably. So like that they are absorbing their minds in Krishna leelas. When Krishna is coiled by Kaliya, like this very tightly, Mother Yashoda is in great anxiety. And Mother Yashoda wanted to jump into this lake, Kaliya lake. Actually, the Gopas were going into the Kaliya lake. Somehow Balaram just stopped them. Now, how was Mother Yashoda pacified by other gopis when she is in great anxiety seeing Krishna's condition? The gopis were chanting Krishna's leelas. Whenever a devotee, pure devotee, is in separation from Krishna, the feelings of separation are kind of mitigated and pacified to some degree at least. by meditating on Krishna's leelas and hearing Krishna's leelas and discussing Krishna's leelas. Tapta Jivanam. If you have intense love for Krishna, you are in intense feelings of separation from Krishna as an elevated devotee, what pacifies you is Krishna Katha. If you are in intense suffering as a conditioned soul or a struggling sadhaka, what pacifies is Krishna Katha. Tapta Jivanam. Clear? Tavakathamritam 2. Tapta Jivanam, 2 meanings we have seen. Then Kavi Bheditam. Kavi means a poet, literally. Kavi can also mean a very advanced devotee who describes Krishna's pastimes in a poetic manner. Okay. So Kavi Bheditam means Krishna Katha is sung by so many poets. Poets are of two types. First poet is ancient poet. Second is contemporary poet. So ancient poets sing Krishna's glories. Contemporary poets also sing Krishna's glories. Why? Ancient poets have already sung, right? Why contemporary poets should sing? There's a reason for it. Contemporary poets sing Krishna Katha, explain Krishna's leelas in such a way that the contemporary audience will understand. In the beginning of the creation, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam in a certain format. 4 shlokas sufficient. Chatushlok. But Brahma spoke that to Narada Muni. And Narada Muni spoke it to Vyasadeva. So as this Bhagavatam is descending through this parampara, from Krishna till us, there are many devotees are involved who expanded and explained Bhagavatam according to the understanding of the contemporary audience. Kasmayena vibhasitoya matulo jnana pradipah pura tadrupena chanaradaya munage krishnaya tadrupina yogindraya tadatmanatha bhagavadrataya karunyata tatshuddham vimalam vishokam amritam satyam param dhimahi. Satyam param dhimahi. So in the beginning of creation, Krishna spoke to Brahma, Bhagavatam. Brahma spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. In the form of Brahma, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. In the form of Narada Muni, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva. In the form of Vyasadeva, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. In the form of Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna only spoke Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj and Sutta Goswami. Like that, whoever is speaking Bhagavatam in this parampara, it is Krishna who is speaking, because they are all transparently transmitting Krishna's teachings without concocting anything, but elaborating something. You don't concoct, but you can elaborate, explain with proper examples. That's what contemporary poets do. Many acharyas have given commentaries, but Prabhupada read all the commentaries, summarized it, and added some more reflections, added some examples from his side for the understanding of local people, and he explained through his commentaries, Bhaktivedanta commentaries. So, contemporary poets are a requirement. Acharyas have given, but many more devotees also should explain what Acharyas have given by preserving the essence and explaining it according to time, place, circumstances, to make common people, contemporary people understand. Can someone read this statement? Whoever's closer can read.
In this regard, Srila Prabhupada writes, personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. One must have full confidence in the previous acharya, and at the same time, one must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience.
Make it interesting, but don't concoct anything. Innovation is okay, deviation is not okay. Right? So, contemporary poets. So, two kinds of poets. Tava Kathamritam, we saw 2 meanings. Tapta Jivanam, we saw 2 meanings. Kavi Bhiriditam, we saw 2 meanings. Kalma Shapaham, again 2 meanings. Kalmasha means contamination. Apaham means destroying. So Krishna Katha, description of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, will destroy all contamination. And that Kalmasha is 2 types. One is the internal contamination of anarthas, aparadhas, so many misgivings, envy, pride, greed, lust. That's internal contamination. Second type is external contamination, Kalimala. There's a lot of contamination in the Kali Yuga, in this material world. Both are destroyed. Just like Bhagavatam is compared to lamp. Lamp can destroy the darkness within a room. Bhagavatam is also compared to sun. Sun can destroy darkness not just within a room, entire hemisphere. So Bhagavatam acts on an individual level, global level also, both ways. So individual level you see, Pravishtaha karna randhrena svanam bhavasaroruham dhunodihamalam Krishnaha salilasya yathasharat. So Bhagavatam acts as a purifying agent to purify individual heart. But global level, we can decide this. Evam nishamya bhrugunandana sadhuvadam
Evam nishamya bhrugunandana sadhuvadam
Vayyasakihi sa bhagavan atha vishnuratam
Vayyasake sa Bhagavan Atha Vishnuratam
Pratyarcha Krishna charitam kalikalmashaghanam
Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagnam
Yahartumarabhada bhagavata pradhanah Vayyasakischa Bhagavan atha Vishnuratam. Vayyasaki is Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva son. Vishnurata is Parikshit Maharaj, who is protected by Lord Vishnu within the womb of his mother. So Sukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. What is the nature of Bhagavatam? Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmashaghanam. The pastimes of Krishna, the topics of Krishna are Kali Kalmashaghanam. They can completely destroy the contamination of Kali Yuga. That's why Kalmashapaham. Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham. Fifth, Shravana Mangalam. Shravana means hearing. Hear Krishna Katha, Mangalam. It can cause great auspiciousness. How is hearing Krishna Kathamritam auspicious? Again, two reasons. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says this. All these are mentioned in some commentaries. This is Vishnu Chakravarti's point. He says, Krishna Kathamritam makes the final goal, ultimate goal of Krishna Prema attractive and attainable. Sometimes a goal may be very attractive to us, but we don't have the means to attain. We are not capable of attaining it. Sometimes people may endeavor to attain some goals, but they are not satisfied with it. In this material world, there may be attractive goals, but they are not attainable goals. Also, there are some attainable goals, but they may not be attractive in this world. Even if they are attainable and attractive, they are material in nature, in this material world. But we have the ultimate goal, Panchama Purushartha, that is Krishna Prema. When you hear Krishna Katha, Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, that goal of Krishna Prema becomes very attractive to us. Many times people will not even pursue that goal of Krishna Prema because it's not attractive only. If it's not even attractive, how will you endeavor to attain it? But Krishna Katha will do this. Krishna Katha, when a sincere devotee describes the glories of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, sincerely, in line with the parampara, then the goal of Krishna Prema becomes very attractive to us. It's attractive. How to attain it? Yeah, hear Krishna Katha more and more. So this process of hearing Krishna Katha makes the goal of Krishna Prema attainable also, not only attractive. Is that you are advertising it, oh this is great, you are attracted to it. But you are not saying how to attain it. The very process of hearing Krishna Katha will make it more attainable also. How do you attain Krishna Prema? By hearing Krishna Katha. You want a proof? Yasyam Vaisruya Manayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Padyate Pumsa. If you hear Krishna Katha, if you hear Bhagavatam, Bhaktir Padyate Krishne Paramapurushe, a feeling of love for Krishna is attainable. Here Bhagavatam will attain Krishna Prema. Why people are not sufficiently attracted to this goal of Krishna Prema? Because not many people are speaking Krishna Katha. When we speak direct Krishna Katha, glorify Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila, then people will get attracted to this goal. Therefore, let's not hesitate to speak Krishna Katha. Our language may be poor, vocabulary may be poor, our presentation skills may be poor. That's okay. Speak Harikatha. As long as what we are speaking has some reference in Shastras, is bona fide, in line with the acharyas, no problem. Speak Krishna Katha. We can inspire at least one soul, two souls, no problem. Even if you don't inspire anyone, we'll be purified. Right? That is guaranteed. That's why Maitri Muni says, Tathapi kirtayam yanga yatha mati yatha shritam kirtim harehe swam satkartum giram anyabhidasatim. If I don't engage the power of my speech in glorifying Lord Krishna, it will remain unchaste. Just to make my power of speech chaste, I am speaking Krishna Katha. Okay. So this is fifth point. Fourth, sorry. Before that. Tava kathamrutam tattva jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham. Shravana mangalam. 5 we have seen. Srimadatam bhuvi grinanti. Srimadatam means this Krishna Katha must be spread by kavis to spread auspiciousness, to make the goal of Krishna Prema attainable and attractive. So those people who actually take up this endeavor are Bhurida Janaha. They are extremely benevolent benefactors of the entire universe. And those Bhurida Janaha are of 2 types. Again from Chakravarti path. One, those are actually speaking Krishna Katha. Second, those are arranging. Those are endeavoring to spread Krishna Katha, sitting in the background. We cannot give all the credit only to the speaker. There are so many people who are organizing kathas. They are endeavoring so much to bring Vaishnavas together so that Krishna Katha can be discussed. A lot of arrangement is required for that also. Even they are also Bhuritagana. They are also great souls. So, we have discussed Tava Kathamritam Shloka. And of course, it's Krishna Katha in general, nothing about Leela in specific, but it's applicable to Leela also. But let's focus more on Leela now. Tava vikriditam Krishna.
Tava vikriditam Krishna.
Nrinam paramamangalam.
Nrinam paramamangalam.
Karnapiyoshamadya.
Karnapiyoshamadya.
Tyajantam yaspraham janah.
Tyajantam yaspraham janah.
We might say that, we might think sometimes that, oh, I'm not hearing Krishna Katha because I have so many problems, so many difficulties, so many tribulations in life. But Bhagavatam says, Tava vikriditam Krishna nrinam paramamangalam. Earlier the gopis said Shravana Mangalam. Now Uddhava says Paramamangalam. Supreme auspiciousness. It's created by hearing Krishna Katha. Karanapiyoshama sadhya. It's nectar for the ears. Tyajanti anyaspraham janaha. Why there is difficulty in this world? Because there is anyaspraha. There is anyaspraha. Means we are concentrating our minds in so many other things. They are corrupting our minds. They are contaminating our consciousness. Even Brahma says like this. In the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, Brahma says, Kukathamati ghnihi. You know the shloka? Yannavrajantya ghavido rachana anuvada shrinvanti enya vishaya kukathamati ghnihi yastu shruta hata bhagair rubhirata sara tam stam kshipantya saraneshu tamassu hanta. Brahma is expressing his great concern for the conditioned souls. He says that Yanna Vrajanti, who will not enter Vaikuntha? A person whose mind is completely contaminated by hearing all kinds of mundane materialistic topics. Shrinvantiye anya vishaya kukatha matighni. Matighni means mind is corrupted by hearing anya vishaya, topics disconnected from Krishna, which are kukatha. That contaminates our consciousness, then people will degrade. How much is the degradation? To what extent a person will get degraded by hearing material topics? Yastu shruta hata bhagair. All fortune is eradicated. Dibhiratta sara, essence of life is completely just gone. Tam stam kshipanti asharaneshu tamassu hanta. I will cast them into darkest regions of hell. To that degree, degradation can happen by hearing materialistic topics. Our consciousness is like water in a rice field. Water in a rice field must be retained nicely by raising mud banks on all 4 sides. If there is a leakage, all this water will not go to the actual rice plants that will flow outside. Or inside the mud bank, Inside this field, there are so many weeds. If you don't pluck out the weeds, all this water will be taken away with the weeds and actual recipients will not get nourishment. So we need to protect ourselves from the internal kalmasha and external kalmasha. Internal kalmasha of weeds and external kalmasha of Kali kalmasha, external distractions, and focus that consciousness on Krishna Katha. Then Parama Mangalam. Tava Vikriditam Krishna Dhanam Parama Mangalam. Otherwise, Anyaspraham. Anyaspraha will just take us for a ride. Next. Let's enter Krishna Lila. In the 7th chapter of 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj speaks to Sukadeva Goswami. Because at the end of the 6th chapter of 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj very nicely describes the pastime of Putara, Padbhyam Bhakta Hridistabhyam, big series of shlokas. At the end he says, Govinde Labhate Rati. So you will attain Govinda, Rati towards Govinda. Parikshit Maharaj felt that why Sukadeva Goswami is giving a falashruti here. Is he going to conclude the narration of Krishna's pastimes here? No, please elaborate. So he became so worried and excited to hear more and more of Krishna's childhood pastimes. Don't summarize. 9th canto you summarize it so much. Sometimes when you read 9th canto you can't figure out why this pastime is there. Not many purports. Sukadeva Goswami also doesn't elaborate. Sometimes we cannot understand the import of one particular story in 9th canto because Sukadeva Goswami is super fast. He's excited to come to 10th canto. So Parikshit Maharaj says, don't summarize Krishna's pastimes. Already he said it. At the end of 10th canto, at the end of 9th canto, Sukadeva Goswami summarized Krishna's pastimes in a couple of shlokas. Parikshit said, not in a couple of shlokas, I want in 90 chapters. Again, after hearing Putana Moksha Lila, Parikshit Maharaj is again saying, don't summarize, I will tell you. I will tell you what are the effects of hearing Krishna Katha, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes, as per my understanding. If you accept my understanding, please elaborate, please describe Krishna Lila. He says, Yena avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvarah Karoti Karnaramyani Manognani Chanah Prabho Yat Shrinvato Paityaratir Vitrishna Sattvam Cha Shuddhyatya Chirena Pumsaha Bhaktir Harau Tat Purushe Cha Sakhyam Tadeva Haram Vadamanyase Chet Yena Avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvara. That Bhagavan Hari Ishvara Krishna has performed so many leelas in so many avatars. They're all Karoti Karnaramyani. They're very, very enchanting to the ears. Karnaramyani. Manognani, enchanting to the heart also. Krishna's pastimes are very enchanting to the ears with their sound, to the heart with their meaning. I think Chakravarti says this in 10.1.4 purport. Nivritta Karshayar purport he says, Srotra Manobhiramat. With the meaning, Krishna Katha impresses the heart, with the melody, with the sound, it impresses the ears. Yes. So, now these two shlokas, as Prabhupada explains, are presenting 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes in specific. Number 1, Karoti Karnaramyani, very pleasing to the ears. Manognani, very pleasing to the heart. 2. 3. Yat Shrinvato Apaiti Aratir Vitrishna. Apaiti Aratir, Arati means lack of attraction, no taste. Durdaiva Midrisham Ihajani Na Anuraga. That is Arati. Whatever Arati we have in our hearts towards hearing Krishna Katha will be destroyed by hearing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's childhood pastimes. In general, hearing Bhagavatam may be little disinteresting to some people, but if they hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, oh, Bhagavatam is interesting, let's hear. Krishna's childhood pastimes will induce that attraction towards Krishna Katha in general, right? So, Apaiti Aratir. With Trishna. Trishna means hankering, not a material hankering. Hankering to hear Krishna Katha. With Trishna means lack of hankering. Arati means lack of attraction only. Okay, Vitrishna means all the people come and sit in the class, they are unable to taste it. Arati means they don't sit in the class only. Okay, Vitrishna means they sit in the class, but they are unable to relish it. The class is going on, but still nothing is. Just like a North Indian wants to eat idli. First is arati. Idli, what is there in it? It seems very impersonal. There is no color, it's pure white. Without sambar or without chutney, you can't eat idli. Paratha you can eat without anything, accompaniment. There is arati towards idli. You do it in North Indian person. Somebody glorifies it, steamed food. You can easily digest it. So many glories they will say. So some kind of rati is attracted. They took it on the plate. They are eating. Still no taste. No Trishna, no Trishna. That is Vitrishna. So both will be destroyed. So somebody is not coming to the class. If they hear Krishna Katha, if they hear Krishna's Bali Lila, they will come to the class. Somebody sitting in the class but unable to absorb themselves. But if they hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, then they will absorb themselves better. Okay? Two more efforts. First is Karoti Karnaranyani. Second is Manojnani. Third is Apaiti Virati. Apaiti Arati. Fourth is Apaiti Vitrishna. Fifth is Sattvam cha Shuddhyati. Heart is completely purified. Here Sattvam refers to heart. Achirena Pumsaha. Very fast purification happens by hearing childhood leelas of Krishna. Then Bhaktir Harav, sixth effect is we will develop devotion unto Lord Hari. Fifth effect, which we have discussed yesterday. We began our class yesterday with this, seventh effect. We discussed sixth, right? Seventh effect. Bhaktir Harav Tat Purushecha Sakhyam. Tat Purusha refers to Tatpara, refers to those people who are dedicated to Krishna. Krishna's devotees basically. Sakhyam. We will develop loving friendships with other devotees. Yesterday we were discussing that. Friendship with other devotees by discussing Krishna Katha. What is that shloka? Atma Ramascha Manayo. Harer Gunakshipta Matihi Bhagavan Badarayani Adhyagan Mahadakhyanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. By absorbing his mind in Krishna's qualities, Sukadeva Goswami became Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. He became very dear to all devotees and all devotees become dear to him. Means loving relationships amongst devotees is possible by coming together and hearing Krishna Katha, discussing Krishna Katha. Same thing is mentioned here. Tat Purusheta Sakyam Bhaktir Harav. You develop devotion to Krishna and on top of it, you will also develop friendships with Krishna's devotees. What else you want? Let's hear Krishna Katha, Krishna leelas in the past, in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. When a devotee is describing Krishna Katha and when you are hearing that devotee, you are developing appreciation to the devotee for his or her appreciation for Krishna. We discussed yesterday, I think. When you are describing Krishna Lila, Krishna Katha, then other devotee appreciates you for your attraction towards Krishna. So mutually you are developing, you are increasing your appreciation to Krishna so much, and you are also increasing your appreciation towards each other. So we are coming like this and like that. So we are going up also, we are coming closer to each other also. It's not just like this, parallel. Or it's not like this. Without Krishna element also people can come together. What is that? 6 loving exchanges amongst devotees. Dadati pratigranati guhyamakhyati prachyati bhunte bhojete jiva. These 6 loving exchanges are there. If these 6 loving exchanges are done without Krishna in the center, with materialistic people, we develop an emotional bonding there. But these 6 loving exchanges, if we do with devotees, with Krishna in the center, we will develop bonding here. So, you want bonding with materialistic people or you want bonding with devotees of Krishna? So, it's a great entanglement. 6 loving exchanges are to be done with devotees only. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his purports of Upadeshamrita, he says, 6 loving exchanges are not to be done with karmis or vikarmis or jnanis or yogis. 6 loving exchanges are meant only with devotees. And 6 loving exchanges plus discussion of Krishna Katha will bring us closer to each other. So these are the 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes. Parikshit Maharaj doesn't stop there. He speaks something ahead. Athanyadapi Krishnasya Lokacharitam Manusham Lokamasadya Tarjatim Anurandhataha Athanyadapi Krishnasya Lokacharitam Adbhutam. Lokacharitam means Krishna's pastimes as a child are adbhutam, very wonderful. Why? Manusham Lokamasadya. He appeared as a human being in this material world. Tajjati manurandhata, he is imitating the ways of ordinary human children. So therefore, this Krishna's childhood pastimes are very attractive. Prabhupada elaborates. He compares Krishna's childhood leelas with many other leelas of other incarnations and says these are very enchanting, very attractive. That's the effect of hearing Krishna's Balya Leela in specific. In Krishna's Putana Leela, Krishna showed the power of his lips. When Krishna killed Trinavarta, Krishna showed the power of his hands. When Krishna killed Shakata, he showed the power of his feet. He was crying for Mother Yashoda's attention. As it is natural for a baby, 3-month-old baby, to throw his hands and legs into the air while crying for mother, Krishna imitated the activities of a 3-month-old baby and he also threw his hands and legs into the air. With the gesture of a kick, that little pravala like tender foot of Krishna touched Shakatasura, touched the cart, and the cart overturned. It got dismantled and Shakatasura died. The peculiar aspect of Krishna's Leela is that there are so many energies of Krishna. So many energies of Krishna, Vibhuti Shakti, Leela Shakti, Satya Sankalpa Shakti, Kripa Shakti, so many Shaktis of Krishna are constantly surrounding Krishna and waiting for an opportunity to assist Krishna in his pastimes. Krishna, when he wants to perform this Leela, of Shakatasura Leela for example, he wouldn't put any endeavor on his side to kill Shakatasura. Because Krishna wants to get absorbed in his Leela with Yashoda Mata and Vrajavasis. As an infant baby, 3-month-old baby, he is just crying for mother's milk. That's all Krishna will do. And Krishna's Shakti would manifest in his feet. And that foot will touch the cart and that Shakti will kill the demon. And Krishna is just calling his mother. Death of Shakatasura is a byproduct. The main intention of Krishna is to call Krishna, Mother Yashoda. I am crying, you are not hearing me. My little sound is not audible to you. I will make bigger sound by dismantling this cart. So Krishna's loving exchange with his mother, Yashoda Mata, is the primary thing there. Killing of a demon is secondary. Similarly, Yashoda Mata is just picking up Krishna and then throwing Krishna into the air and then catching him. Throwing into the air and catching him. Sometimes children become a little fearful and some children enjoy it. Krishna is enjoying it. He is enjoying so much that he wanted to go higher and higher. Yashoda Mata is only able to throw me into the sky just above the ground level, but I want to go 800,000 miles high into the sky. I want to go for a big ride. Just as Krishna desired like that, Trinavarta appeared there. Trinavarta's entrance into Vrindavan is not because of Kamsa. Apparently it is because of Kamsa. And when he came, Krishna killed him. But it's not like that. Krishna's Leela Shakti orchestrates all the incidents in Vrindavan in such a way that all the demons' entrance also is very much in line with Krishna's desires and Krishna's pastimes. When Krishna desired to go high, that time at which Krishna desired has coincided with this Trinavarta's entrance. Just like Krishna, Kaviraj Goswami explains in the Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says that Krishna desired to experience the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. Tadbhavadhyah samajanishachi garbhasindhu harinduhu. He desired to experience the pleasure of Srimati Radharani, adopt her mood and become a servant of Krishna instead of being Krishna. And the time at which he desired coincided with the time of establishing Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma is not the main reason. Establishing Yuga Dharma is not the main reason. The main reason is to relish Radha Bhav. Radha Bhavadyati Subalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So when Krishna desired to experience the mode of Radharani, that became the time of establishing Yuga Dharma. This transcendental orchestration of Krishna's Leela Shakti. Similarly, Krishna desired to go high, Trinavarta came there. And Krishna went high. Trinavarta was thinking that he is taking Krishna high. He doesn't understand. He's an instrument in Krishna's desires. He's an instrument in Krishna's Leela Shakti. His appearance is very much in line with Krishna's desires. He's being utilized in Krishna Leela. That is his fortune, by the way. To be an instrument in the hands of Krishna and Guru is our fortune. So, Trinavarta is fortunate in that way. That's why he is liberated. As simple as that. Why Krishna is liberating all the demons that he is killing? Because they are assisting him in his pastimes. They are instruments in Krishna's Leela Shakti. So, Trinavarta took Krishna high with an intention to kill Krishna and eat Krishna. But when he went 800,000 miles high, Krishna suddenly felt, my mother is crying, I want to go back to my mother. So his desire is to go back to his mother. Earlier he wanted to go higher than what his mother can lift him into the sky. But now he wanted to go back to his mother. Then what did he do? What did the energies do? Krishna became very heavy. Because of the influence of Krishna Leela Shakti, Krishna just held on to the neck of Trinavarta. As if a fearful child, when he is lifted high, he becomes very fearful and then he holds on to us, right? So he just hold on to this tender grip. You just hold on to our fingers, our hands, our shirt or something like that. That's how Krishna just held on to the neck of Trinavarta. And Krishna was looking like a blue locket hanging from Trinavarta's neck.
Oh, so
Blue locket. So this is how Shakata describes. And Trinavarta could not bear that weight. Trinavarta got collapsed. Where exactly did he collapse? Even before that, I think, shall I go a little?
yes.
So, when Trinavarta came, he completely filled Vrindavan with Rajasa Tamasavritam, as we discussed yesterday. Dust and darkness filled entire Vrindavan. All the gopis and gopas were anxious for Krishna. They were trying to search where Krishna is. But Trinavarta has taken away their ability to search for Krishna by creating dust and darkness everywhere. You are trying to search for something. You have kept your phone somewhere, for example. Sometimes when you can't find phones now, Shunyavitam Jagat you are trying to search for a phone and the phone is not there. And somehow electricity went away. It may not happen here, it happens in GV. Right? You are unable to find your phone. So when you are trying to search for an object that you want to search for, suddenly light also goes away. Everything is pitch dark in the night. You become even more frustrated. At least when light is there, you have some hope. I didn't find it in this corner, let me find in that corner. I didn't find in that corner, let me go into that corner. But light is also not there. Phone is taken away. Your searching ability is also taken away. It's more frustrating. All the gopis of Vrindavan and gopas of Vrindavan, they wanted to search for Krishna, but unfortunately, their ability to search was taken away. Because everything was dark. Nobody could see each other, nobody could hear each other. They are unable to hear each other because of sound, so much sound. Nobody could see each other because of so much of darkness and dust everywhere. They are rendered completely helpless. Krishna noted this. Krishna's energies are noted, whatever. Krishna noted this. He wanted to give same experience to Trinavarta also. Yethamam prapadyante tam sativa bhajamyaham. And he went up. Krishna was hanging on the neck of Trinavarta like a blue locket. And Krishna increased his weight. Earlier when Mother Yashoda was lifting him up, he became as heavy as a mountain peak. She kept him down. She went inside. Meanwhile, Trinavarta came. When Trinavarta came, he became as light as a feather or a dry leaf. Trinavarta could easily pick him up. He went high into the sky. There, when Krishna felt separation from his mother, he was missing his mother, again Krishna became as heavy as a mountain peak. So, he was hanging on his neck. This time, Trinavarta was not holding Krishna. Krishna was holding Trinavarta. Right? Krishna was holding onto the neck of Trinavarta and he was hanging from his neck. He became as heavy as a mountain peak. When you lift some object, if it's very heavy, you cannot carry it, you can drop it. But when you are lifting a heavy object and your ability to drop that object is taken away, it's hanged around your neck, you are unable to throw it away also. How frustrating it is. You will scream in pain. But the problem is Krishna has taken away his screaming ability also. Because he held on to his neck. The weight is not tied to his hand. The weight is hanging from his neck. So he was completely choked. So much heavy weight, he is unable to throw it, he is unable to scream in pain also. Then his eyes popped out of their sockets. Trinavarta collapsed. Where did he collapse? If a flight takes off from Atlanta, some gate, some terminal, some gate, and if it crashes, what is the possibility of that flight again crashing back in the same airport, in the same terminal, at the same gate? No possibility, not very less, impossible. But Trinavarta airplanes crashed right in Vrindavan. Where exactly in Vrindavan? Right on a big boulder. Not destroying any goshalas or homes or gopas or gopis or cows or calves or peacocks. No human being or no animal or no bird was harmed. He crashed in a boulder. And where was the boulder? Right next to all the gopis of Vrindavan who were lamenting for Krishna. Krishna wanted to pacify the mothers of Vrindavan before the fathers. Right? All the gopas are also anxious. Gopis are also anxious. But the Vatsalya Gopis' anxiety for Krishna is much more than the Vatsalya Gopa's anxiety. Of course, they are also having parental affection, but Mother Yashoda, Rohini Mata and other Gopis are more anxious. So Krishna wanted to pacify them first. And Krishna made Trinavarta fall on this boulder. All the limbs of Trinavarta got dislocated except his chest. See this? How much match fixing? So the chest is a playground for Krishna to play. Therefore, this did not collapse. Everything else collapsed. Everything got dismantled. And the gopis came. See, your favorite iPhone is there. Fell somewhere. You are doing Govardhan Parikrama. The iPhone fell somewhere. And you found it finally. But you found next to a snake. Will you pick it up? No. Then, although it is your favorite phone, you hesitate it, right? You don't know whether the snake is sleeping or dead or alive, you don't know. You will not be able to pick it up. But as soon as the gopis of Vrindavan saw little baby Krishna on Trinavarta's dead body, they immediately came with absolutely no fear. They picked up Krishna. They picked up Krishna. They were not even considering what will happen to us. They saw Krishna, they just picked it up. Picked him up. So they brought Krishna to Mother Yashoda. Yashoda was lamenting there. And they were not giving Krishna to Yashoda Mata, 1-year-old baby. They were saying, Yashoda, you have no qualification to touch this boy, touch this child. I got such a heavy statement. Yashoda Mata was bewildered. What happened? Why? Why is it so? Then the gopis said, when such a fierce whirlwind came, why did you leave this child unattended in the courtyard? Why can't you keep him inside home? Then Yashodamata very innocently said, my child was as heavy as a mountain peak at that time. I could not bear his weight, so I kept him down. Then the gopi said, your child is as heavy as a mountain? He is as light as a flower. We are holding him down. She had no answer. Naturally, what will she answer? So then the gopis chastised. Yashodamata was not thinking, he is my son and I am Vrindavaneshwari. I am the wife of King Nanda. how can you chastise me? She understands their Vatsalya Bhav. She was not offended. She's concerned about Krishna. Finally, she took Krishna back into her lap. Of course, gopis would give all of the chastise out of concern for Krishna. So this is how Krishna's Shaktis serve Krishna in his pastimes. So Krishna wanted to do something in connection with the gopis or gopas. He wants to enjoy playing or stealing or something else. So Krishna's Shaktis will just manifest at the right time, do the needful there and then disappear. Just like Yashoda Mata was trying to bind Krishna. I think I have kept that picture also. I'll come to Damodara Lila little later. Let me complete this. Yashoda Mata wanted to bind Krishna. Krishna did not want to get bound. He has Icha Shakti, he has Satya Sankalpa Shakti. The Satya Sankalpa Shakti called Vibhuti Shakti. Come here, Krishna doesn't want to get bound. Then Vibhuti Shakti manifested in his belly. Okay, the opulence, the energy of Krishna's opulence. And Yashoda Mata is unable to bind Krishna. She's trying. She was unable to bind. Then finally Krishna looked at Mother Yashoda. Svamatuhu svinna gatraya visrasta kabarasraja drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit svabandhane. So Krishna saw the endeavor of Mother Yashoda. So much of hard work she is doing. She is perspiring. She is working hard since morning. She got up early in the morning, churning butter for Krishna and then fed Krishna and tried to save that Padavana milk. And Krishna created a big mess there by breaking pot, stealing butter, making her run in 100 different directions. So she's tired. So seeing her perspiring so much and endeavoring to bind him, Krishna felt very compassionate. Krishna said, okay, Mother Yashoda, you become bind. Means Krishna's Kripa Shakti manifested there. The queen of all Krishna's energies, Kripa Shakti, when she manifests, all the other Shaktis have to take a low profile. Okay, just go away. Kripa Shakti is there. That is Bhakta Vashyata. That's why Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur points out this shloka as the Paribhasha Sutra of Krishna Lila. He says, Trayyachopanishadbhischa Sankhya Yogaischa Sattvataihi Upagiyamana Mahatmyam Harim Samanya Tatmajam Trayyacha Upanishadbhischa. In all the Vedas, in all the Upanishads, in all the Shastras that are describing Sankhya Yoga, etc., Krishna is glorified as the supreme absolute truth. But Yashoda Mata just considers Krishna as herself. That is the Paribhasha Sutra of Krishna Lila. So all the opulence is kept aside. Even if Krishna exhibits his superhuman deeds, even if Krishna exhibits his godhood in front of everyone, Yashoda Mata will not consider Krishna as God. Even if Krishna shows entire opulence of the universe, entire universe within his belly, Yashoda Mata thinks that my son is haunted by some ghost or what? Is he deceased or what? What's happening? So she thinks that some Shakti of Krishna manifests there and tries to test the Vatsalya Bhava of Yashoda Mata. If we manifest some opulence of Krishna, show extreme high degree powers of Krishna, how will Yashoda Mata respond? So this testing energy tried to test Krishna, test Yashoda Mata. What did Yashoda Mata do? She made the testing energy as her maid servant, as a subservient to her Vatsalya Prema. How? Because of the manifestation of that testing energy, Yashoda Mata's anxiety as a mother for Krishna increased. She became more concerned about Krishna. And Krishna is deceased or what happened to my little child? This is how Krishna's energies function. Just to assist Krishna in his leelas. They will manifest at a particular incident to make the necessary arrangements for Krishna's pastimes to take place, and they will just take a low profile. And Krishna is absorbed in his mood as an infant baby or a small child. He need not even accept his godhood. If he has to cry, he will cry. He will keep aside his godhood and he will cry when Mother Yashoda is chastising him. When Putana entered Vrindavan, how could Putana's Maya, how could Putana allure all the Vrajavasis, mesmerize all the Vrajavasis and enter even into the inner chambers of of Nanda Maharaj's home. How could Yashoda Mata and Rohini Mata allow a stranger Putana to enter the maternity ward and pick up an infant baby, few days old baby, and feed him her milk? It's too much, right? Putana could never bewilder the Brajavasis or Yashoda Mata or Rohini Mata. It is Krishna's Leela Shakti that bewildered all of them, not Putana. So it is Krishna's Leela Shakti who is doing all these Leelas. I kept it here only. We have to discuss Govardhan Lila and elaborate. But as a prelude, I'm just giving what's the time?
So there's no time.
We have it.
It is 5:50.
5:50. Okay. Okay, fine. Gopyadade tvahi krita agasiddhavata damatavat
Gopyadage tvai kritagasitamatavad
Yate dashashrukalilāñjana sambhramaksham
Yate dasasukalilanjana sambhramaksham
Vaktram niniya bhayabhavanaya sthitasya
Vakram viniya bhayabhavanaya
Samam vimohayati bhirapi yad vibheti
Samam vimohayati virapi yad vibheti.
Krishna was bending his head low in front of Yashoda Mata. Just like a criminal bends his head low in front of a judge. In this court of Vrindavan, Yashoda Mata is the judge and Krishna is the criminal. And Krishna's future is completely in the hands of Mother Yashoda. She can say, no toys for you, no milk products for you, no butter for you, no playmates for you, no movement for you. I will tell you. Krishna has to submit. Thank you, my dear mother. Whatever you say. Samam vimohayati dhirapi yad vibheti. Even fear personified becomes fearful of Krishna, and that Krishna becomes fearful of a little stick in Yashoda Mata's hands. So Krishna is bhakti baddham. This is the Leela of Krishna. Iti driksva leela bhirananda kunde svadosham nimajjantam akyaprayantam
Tvaliye siddhatneshu bhakte jitatvam Puna prematastam sadavriti vande.
In this way, Krishna is performing enchanting leelas like Damodara Lila, Vardhabhakshana Lila, and others. Svalila bhir ananda kunde swaghosham nimajjantam. He is immersing all his dear associates in pools of ecstasy, in lakes of bliss, and announcing to all these people, see, this is how I do leelas with Brajavasis. You are attracted to other leelas where I manifest my majesty, grandeur, and opulence. Here are my leelas of simplicity and innocence, where I keep aside my godhood and perform leelas. When God identifies himself as God and performs some leelas, there is some sweetness in it. But when God keeps aside his godhood and performs some leelas, there is more sweetness in it. When God keeps aside his godhood, there is more ecstasy. That's what Damodara Lila is depicting. And all Vrindavan Leelas actually. In Damodara Lila, Krishna relinquished so many of his opulences. One is his Atmaram, he became Stanyaka. His Purna Manoratha, he became Atripta. He is not happy. You wanted to hear a few words from you, Prabhu? Yeah, I can see. Thank you. We'll miss you. Thank you. Please take care. Yes. His Grace Amarendra Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
We'll miss your auspicious presence. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
He is Vishuddha Sattva Vigraha, but Krodha manifested in him. He is Kala personified and he became Atanka Netra. He is the fastest Even yogis cannot catch him, and a simple gopi caught him. He is absolute truth, but he's speaking lies. He's all blissful, but he's crying, sobbing. Rudantam muhur netra yugam vijantam. He's the supreme judge, but Yashoda Mata is judging him. He is the object of all prayers, but Yashoda Mata is scolding him. He is the supreme controller, but he's being bound. He controls everybody, but he's controlled. I love Prema Vashyata. Devotee becomes greater than God. Even for argument's sake, Prabhupada says, even for argument's sake, you consider that Mayavadis become equal to the Lord. They become God. But the devotee becomes greater than God. Who is better? In Prabhupada's thing. Even in the Leela of Kaliya, Kaliyanath. You see, Kaliya completely coiled Krishna, embraced Krishna. Very tight embrace of Krishna. Okay. For 48 minutes. For one muhurta, Kaliya completely arrested Krishna in his coils. All the Brajavasis were standing on the shore of Yamuna lake and they were feeling extreme amount of anxiety. They were anxious of Krishna. Why did Krishna allow that to happen? Why Krishna is giving so much of anxiety to all the Brajavasis who are his dearest eternal associates? Why is it so? Why Krishna had to allow Kaliya to completely bind him, arrest him? Can't Krishna release himself? In one moment he could have killed him or at least subdued him or banished him, but he did not do that. Because Krishna is tasting the ecstasy of their anxiety. When a devotee sees Krishna very happy, devotee becomes happy and he experiences ecstatic bliss. But when Brajavasis see Krishna in troubles, attacked by some demons, their anxiety for Krishna increases and that anxiety is another manifestation of their love, where it becomes intense. Just like when the child is happily playing, mother is happy. But when the child has some fever or some disease, mother's anxiety for the child increases, and in that situation, the child can experience an intensified love of mother, and mother can experience more intensified love towards the child. So in such situations of anxiety or pain, the love between the lover and the beloved will increase, will be enhanced. So Krishna wanted to experience that intensified anxiety of the gopis, where their love just touched the sky. And at one point Krishna realized after one muhurta, if I continue like this, they will die out of their anxiety. So let that not happen. So Krishna allowed Kaliya to release himself. Krishna released himself from Kaliya's bondage and subdued him and encouraged them. So sometimes Krishna can create situations of separation, situations of anxiety for his devotees, and he will relish the intensified love of his devotees. He only made them anxious. In their anxiety, their love for him increased, and he is tasting that love. This is the speciality of Krishna Lila. And Krishna subdued Kaliya. Another important aspect. Kaliya was just embracing Krishna very tightly. After that, Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya, just pounding on the hoods of Kaliya very, very heavily. Whichever head doesn't submit to Krishna, Krishna would just jump on that head and dance. One aspect is, it's a slippery stage and Krishna is dancing in perfect harmony, and all the upper planetary system residents, they are playing musical instruments so much, and Krishna is dancing to their footsteps, to their music. All that is great. But another important aspect of this pastime is Kaliya got the embrace of Krishna. Kaliya got the dust from Krishna's lotus feet on his head. Still, till Nagapatnis came and offered prayers to Krishna, Krishna did not actually show mercy on Kaliya. Even if he received dust from Krishna's lotus feet, even if he receive the embrace of Krishna or embrace Krishna for 48 minutes, still without devotees' prayers will not be received. The real mercy of Krishna is accessible and attainable only by devotees' grace. So Kaliya's example depicts that. And the gopis are playing. Vishajalapyaya
Varasamaruta Vaidutadalat Vrishamayatmajat Vishwato Bhayat Rishabhadevayam Rakshitamoho.
Vishajalapyaya Gyala Rakshasa. Vishajala. Krishna, you protected us. In many of your leelas, you protected us from these poisonous waters. And Vyala Rakshasa, this Aghasur demon. Then Varshamaruta, you protected us from Indra's heavy rain. And Vaidyutanalat. Vaidyuta means these lightning bolts of Indra. Analat, fierce winds in Govardhan Lila. And also, Vaidyutanalat can also refer to the Trinavarta demon and forest fire. Vrisha Mayatmajat. Vrisha is Arishtasur demon. Mayatmajat means Vyomasur demon. Right? Vishwato Bhayat Rishabhatevayam Rakshitamuhu. In this way, Krishna protected the Brajavasis by performing so many enchanting leelas of killing demons. But killing demons is only a pretext, only a byproduct. The main product is protecting devotees, enjoying with devotees. In fact, all the demons of Vrindavan that Krishna killed in the forest are just the Leela Shakti's ways of creating lunch breaks. These boys are so much absorbed in their games that they forget their lunch. Then what does the Leela Shakti do? He will send some demon. And the demon will kill. Krishna will kill the demon. And after that the boys will remember, we have to take lunch. Then they will go on the bank of Yamuna and take their lunch. So they are lunch breaks. Demon killing is not the main thing in Vrindavan. Although there are so many demons in Vrindavan. The main thing is Krishna's pastimes. So this is how the Shaktis of the Lord, Leela Shaktis of the Lord will create ecstasy. And coming to the main Rasa Leela. Sukadeva Goswami says, with this we'll conclude and take break. 6 o'clock we need to take break, right?
Okay.
That's the schedule, right?
Yes.
Vikriditam Vrajavadhubiridam cha Vishnoham
Vikriditam Vrajavadhubiridam cha Vishnoham
Shraddhanvito nusruniyat athavarna yedyaham
Shraddhanvito nusruniyat athavarna yedyaham
Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam
Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam
Hridrogamasvapahino atyachirena dhiraham
Hridrogamasva pihinoti yachirena dhiraham
Vikriditam Vrajavadhubiridam cha Vishnu. The epitome of all Vatsalya pastimes is Damodara Lila. The epitome of all Madhurya pastimes is Rasa Lila. And what is the effect of hearing this Rasa Lila pastimes of Krishna? Not everyone can hear. But one who hears with proper qualification, especially one who hears them after going through the first 9 cantos of Bhagavatam, not directly jumping into Rasa Panchadhyaya, but after having systematically gone through the initial cantos of Bhagavatam and hearing from bona fide sources, then in their systematic study they come to this episode. Then that hearing of Krishna's Madhurya pastimes will destroy any lust within our hearts. Shraddhanvito anusruniyat athavarna yedyah. With Shraddha, with faith, if we hear these pastimes, or if we glorify these pastimes, if we describe these pastimes, bhaktim param, we'll get transcendental devotional feelings towards Krishna. Bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hrudrogamasam. All the hrudrogam, the disease of the heart which is lust, is completely destroyed. Lust will be destroyed, love will be developed by hearing these pastimes. Alaukakitah kilalaukikiyam
Alaukikita kilalaukikiyam
Lila harere tirasayanatvam
Lila harere tirasayanatvam
Lila avataranu kathani mridvi
Lila avataranu
Katha Palikni.
Vishwasya Sishyadi Katha Palikni.
This is a very exciting shloka. Not that you give up the initial candles, but just to show some comparison, Taratamya. Alaukakitaha kila laukikiyam leela harer eti rasayanatvam. Krishna's leelas, Hari's leelas, as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, are so enchanting. Krishna's pastimes as a human child are very enchanting. That the greatness or the sweetness of these Krishna's human pastimes would surpass the greatness or sweetness of Krishna's Srishti pastimes. Vishwasya Srishti Adi Katha, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya pastimes are there, which Krishna does through the forms of Purushavasaras and Gunavataras. Those pastimes are not as attractive as Krishna's human pastimes. That's what the shloka says. Leelaavataranu kathani vriddhi. So the leelas of Krishna as a human being are more relatable, more accessible, more down to earth, they give more life lessons for us to relish and imbibe and practice and implement in our lives. But others like Srishti Leela, all this cannot create such an impact. That's what is mentioned here. And we'll discuss more such Leelas once we come back. We'll take break. And once we come back, I think we'll spend some time taking questions. There's no end to this. Last 3 days, I feel very bad that although yesterday I promised that we'll take some questions. I extended 1 hour. Later beyond 10 also. So once we come back, we can even take some questions instead of continuing the katha, whichever you prefer.
Then we can continue for some time.
Then we'll take questions.
And then we can start questions.
Okay, sure. I'll speak maybe half an hour and 1 hour questions, something like that. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hare
Hare Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
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 Hare Krishna.
Welcome back. We have discussed several aspects of Krishna Leela. When we are discussing about Krishna's Leela, 2 things need to happen. One is discussion on the importance of Krishna Leela, its significance, and the logic behind Krishna Leela, the purpose of Krishna Leela, mood of Krishna Leela, all that's one aspect that we discussed. Second is actual Leela. Trinavarta Leela we discussed, Damodara Lila, few Leelas we discussed. His Grace Namarendra Prabhu requested me to describe Govardhan Lila elaborately, but Prabhu himself is not well. And I also, he is not well. And I also requested him to speak, but Prabhuji was hesitant. Somehow he is unwell and he had to move. So we will, next time in his presence, I will definitely elaborately discuss Govardhan Lila and I will hear from him more. Now we'll have some questions. I'll speak a few words, maybe 10-15 minutes. We'll open for questions. Because 3 days we didn't have any questions. It's not fair. So we'll do some Q&A. कर्मण्यनीहस्य भवो भवस्यते दुर्गाश्रयोधारि भयात् पलायनम् कालात्मनो यत् प्रमदायुताश्रमः स्वात्मन् रतेः खिद्यति धीर्विदामिह कर्मणि अनीहस्य. Very interesting shloka. Karmani anihasya. Aniha means one who has nothing to do. One is not obliged to do anything. Nobody can push him or force him, or he himself doesn't need anything. Therefore he doesn't have to do anything. That such a person is called aniha. But still Krishna does karmani. So many activities as a householder. Then bhavo abhavasyate is abhava. Abhava means no birth. He is unborn. But bhavo, he appears so many times, so many births, so many incarnations. Bewildering. Person who need not do any activity is doing many activities. A person who has no birth is taking birth so many times. Durgashayo atha aribhayat palayanam. Kalatmanoyat. Kalatmano means he is a controller of time, but still aribhayat, out of fear of enemy, he would run away. When Kaliya came to attack Krishna, Jarasandha came to attack Krishna, Krishna didn't fight with him. Initially he fought with Jarasandha 17 times, and the 18th time Jarasandha came, Krishna did not attack him, he ran away from there. Kaliya came, he again ran away. As if he is fearful, always controller of time. Kalosmi loka kshayat krit prabhuddho. But still, he thinks that he runs away. Then pramadayuta ashramaha swatman rati. Swatman rati means one who takes pleasure in his own self. But still, pramadayuta ashramaha, in grihastha ashram, he spends time with 16,108 queens. Can you just imagine? In trying to understand his contradictory leelas like this, the intelligence of great people also get bewildered. Who is saying this, Indra is saying this. Contradictions in Krishna leelas. But why does Krishna appear? Actually, in these 4 items, 4 types of contradictions, we can easily reconcile all these contradictions by understanding that whatever Krishna does, he does to please his devotees. Next, one more shloka. Kalo janishyamananam dukha shokatamodudam anugrahaya bhaktanam supunyam yatanodyashah. Kalo janishyamananam. Krishna is very merciful upon people who are about to take birth in Kali Yuga. Because Krishna performed all his leelas just before Kali Yuga began. So that the proper subject matter is created for Kali Yuga people to discuss. Otherwise they will discuss all kokatha, all bad topics, all gossip, all materialistic stuff, politics, many other things. So to stop them from discussing all that stuff and give them a positive subject matter of Krishna Leela, Krishna appeared on this planet. By discussing Krishna Leela, what will happen? Dukkha shoka tamorudam. All the tamas and dukkha, shoka, lamentation and distress and ignorance are completely destroyed. Anugrahaya bhaktanam. Specifically, Krishna is merciful on devotees. Because devotees are those people who discuss Krishna Katha and not other people. So Krishna, by appearing on this planet, he created a subject matter for all of us to sit here like this and discuss. Supunyam yatanotishaha. Supunyam, it's extremely pious to sit and discuss Krishna Katha. Piety, punya, is of 2 type flavors. One is material piety, second is spiritual piety. Material piety takes us to heaven. Spiritual piety takes us to spiritual world. When Bhagavatam says that punya shravana kirtana. Shravana kirtana, is it punya? Is it a pious activity? It's not a material pious activity, Shravana Kirtan. This punya that Bhagavatam is talking about is spiritual punya, not material punya. Punyam Krishna Kathamrita. Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. So this is supunyam yatanodyashaha. Yatanodyashaha, you are distributing yasha, glories of Krishna. That is not a punya, that is not a pious activity. It's not a materially pious activity, it is spiritually pious activity. This punya is actually spiritual piety. One more shloka. Yasmin satkarna piyushe yashastirthavare sakrit shrotanjalir upasprisya dhunute karma vasanam. This Krishna Katha nectar is like karna piyusha, the nectar for ears. Yashas tirthavare sakrit. Yasha. Tirthavara. Yasha means glories of Krishna. They are like pilgrimage places. Tirthavara. Tirtha is a holy place. Tirthavara means best of all holy places. A holy place can clear our sinful reactions. But the holy place of Krishna Katha can clear our sinful inclinations, sinful desires, sinful mentalities. Therefore it's Tirthavare Sakrit. Then Shrotanjali Rupasprisya. Shrota Anjali means when you have to drink water in a river, you take Anjali. You fold your hands like this and drink like this. Shrotanjali, make your ears as cupped hands and drink the nectar of Krishna Katha. Drink this beverage of Krishna Katha. Then all the illusions are destroyed. Dhunute karma vasana. Karma vasana. You have interest to perform karmic activities. Dhunute, all these are washed away. Vyamoha prashamaushadham munibano vritti pravrityaushadham daityendraktika raushadham tribhuvane sanjeevanaikaushadham bhaktatyantahitaushadham bhavabhaya pradhamsanaikaushadham shreyah prantika raushadham pibamana Sri Krishna divyaushadham. Aushadham. Krishna Katha is not only nectar, not only intoxicant, but medicine also. Nivritta tarshairupagiyamana bhavaushadhat shruttamano bhava aushadhat. It's a real medicine for material existence, material disease. So drink that nectar. Then all the vyamohas are destroyed. Vyamoha prashamaushadham. I will not elaborate it slow. Half an hour will go in that. Snigdha smita, snigdha smitekshanodare.
Snigdha smitekshanodare.
Vakyair vikramalilaya.
Vakyair vikramalilaya.
Trilokam ramayam asam.
Nilokam ramayam asam.
Murtya sarvangaram yaya.
Murtya sarvangaram yaya.
Snigdha, smitekshana udare. Snigdha, very affectionate. Smita, smiles. Ikshana udare. His glances are very magnanimous, very benevolent. Vakyair vikramalilaya. His vakyair, his statements are so sweet. The gopis say this. Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya budhamanogmaya pushkarikshana. Madhuraya gira. Krishna's voice is so sweet. Not just voice is sweet, his words are also sweet. Somebody may have a sweet voice, but they speak harshly. The voice may be sweet, but what comes out, the content, is not so sweet sometimes. Sometimes content may be sweet, voice is not that appealing. But Krishna, both. Content, intent, and accent, all are sweet. Sadhu. Madhuraya gira valguvakyaya budhamanognaya. Budhamanognaya means even great philosophers and advanced transcendentalists and scholars, intelligent people also get attracted. It's not so easy to impress intelligent people. Some big managers are there, they will not get impressed. Some big scholars are there, whatever the analysis you do, they are not impressed. Big designers are there, whatever artistic skills you exhibit, they are not impressed. Because they are experts in that field. So to impress them, you need to be really master. You need a real champion. But Krishna is Buddha Manognaya. Even if you are Buddha, what matters? I am the source of all your buddhi. Buddha Manognaya. I will steal your mind. I will outsmart your intelligence and steal away your mind. Sometimes emotions are stronger than analysis. Mana is stronger than buddhi. Although buddhi is supposed to control mind, mind takes over. And Krishna acts on the level of mind, he captivates your mind. Intelligence is, let me follow the mind. Right? Ultimately, connecting with Krishna through emotions is more important than, or higher than, connecting with Krishna through intelligence. You intellectually understand that Krishna is God and connect with Him. That's at one level. You develop an emotional bonding with Krishna, love Him. Emotional connect is stronger than intellectual connect. That's why Krishna said, Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Only with buddhi you understand Krishna's supreme position and you explain to others, but no emotions. It doesn't work. But bhava samanvitaha. You need to develop emotional bonding with Krishna. Next. I think we can conclude here. I'm just trying to slowly transit into Govardhan pastimes, but we are trying to discuss Krishna, discuss if you have any questions. If I start this, then we will go into Govardhan. So we will stop here. Our description of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Lila.
Please can you continue?
If you have any questions, you can ask.
Please continue. Some guna, Prabhu. Some guna. Some guna. Sometime.
At least half an hour.
Please.
Half an hour, I
Yeah.
don't mind.
Guna.
As long as you have no problem, I have no problem.
Want to hear guna, Prabhu.
Huh?
Little bit Krishna guna too.
Krishna Gunas. Yesterday we did.
Yesterday we still want to hear.
But this is Lila. Today is Lila. Let's discuss this. Okay, then we'll go back. Vaikunthajani tovara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavan.
वैकुण्ठाजनितो वरामधुपुरी तत्रापि रसोत्सवात्
Vrindaranyamudara ravana tatrapi govardhana.
वृन्दारण्यमुदारपाणिरमणा तत्रापि गोवर्धना
Radha kundamihapi gokulapate premamrita plavana.
राधाकुण्डमिहापि गोकुलपते प्रेमामृताप्लावना
Kuryatasya virajato giritate sevam vivekinakah.
कुर्यादस्य विराजतो गिरितटे सेवां विवेकिनः
Vaikunthajanito vara madhupuri. If there is something which is superior to Vaikuntha, that is Madhupuri. Mathura Mandal. What is best in Mathura Mandal, best spot? Tatrapi Rasotsavat Vrindaranyam. In that Mathura Mandal, Vrindaranya is the best spot. In Vrindaranya, what is the best spot? Vrindaranyamudara pani ramanat tatrapi govardhana. In all spots of Vrindavan, Govardhan is the best spot. And in Govardhan, what is the best spot? Radha kundamihapi gokulapate prema amrita plavana. It is Radha Kund which is superior place amongst all the other spots in Govardhan. Because Premamrita Aplavana, Krishna created an ocean, inundation of prema in Radhakund. Kuryatasya virajato giritate sevam vivekinakaha. Who would deny an opportunity to serve at Radhakund? Of course, with the permission of Guru. Principally, this is highest. But are we qualified to go there? We need blessings of superiors, Guru, spiritual master. Basically, Govardhan is the best spot for Krishna's pastimes, and we will see now. This is the first sloka of Govardhan Dashakam. Very beautiful. Nijapati bhujadanda chhatra bhavam prapadya pratihata madadhushto danda devendra garva.
Nivati bhujadanda Kachatra prapadya patihatta
Atula pruthula shaila shreni bhupa priyam me.
Atula prutala shaila shreni bhupa priyam me
Janikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam.
Nijanikatadivasam dehi govardhanatvam
Nijapati bhujadanda. Nijapati means one's own master. Whose master? Govardhan's master. Who is that? Krishna. So, Govardhan's master, Krishna, bhujadanda, he made his arm as a danda, a stick. And chhatra bhavam prapadya, he lifted Govardhan as a chhatri, as a umbrella. Why? Pratihata madadhrishto uddanda devendra garva. To destroy the pride of Uddanda, arrogant Indra. Devendra, Garva. Garva means pride. Uddanda means arrogance, impudence. To destroy that, Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain by making his hand as a handle. Hand became handle. Mountain, hill became umbrella. Atula Pruthula Shaila Shreni Bhupa Priyam Mai. Atula Pruthula Shaila. Atula means there is no comparison to the glory of Govardhan. Shreni Bhupa Priyam Mai. Shreni. There are so many groups of great mountains. In all that group of mountains, if you put nominations, Govardhan will unanimously be selected as the best of all mountains. Giriraj Govardhan. Nija nikata nivasam dehi Govardhanatvam. So my prayer, Raghunath Das Goswami's prayer is, may I stay near Govardhan mountain. That is his prayer. So why Govardhan is so special? I think we'll close this and enter into Govardhan Lila.
Hari Bol! Yes, yes. Prabhu is watching also. Amarat is also watching.
Oh, really? Prabhu, wherever you are, please you to follow your instructions. I am just starting Govardhan Lila with your blessings.
Jai Ho!
One day, 7-year-old Krishna saw his father Nanda Maharaj making some preparations for some ceremony along with other Gopas. So very curiously, Krishna went and asked Nanda Maharaj, my dear father, what are these preparations that you are making? You are arranging for some sacrifice, for some puja, for some worship, for some japa, for some vrata, for some homa? Is it traditional? Is it mentioned in the scriptures? Or you are doing it just because it's coming in from your ancestors? So he flooded Nanda Maharaj with so many questions. Then Nanda Maharaj was silent. He thought that small child, 7-year-old boy, what will he understand? Let me not explain. But Krishna said, Nanda Baba, you are not supposed to keep any secrets in front of your family members. I am your son. How can you keep it secret? Just tell me everything. And Nanda Maharaj explained. Krishna, Indra is the king of heavens. He is also the provider of rains. To express our gratitude to Indra, we are supposed to do this annual worship, puja, so that he will be pleased to provide rains. Rains are required for us to get grains. Grains are required for us to eat and survive. So let's worship. Krishna said, what is this Indra's role here? He is just a devata. He is supposed to do his activity. And Krishna spoke some karma mimamsa philosophy, which he himself never was convinced about, and which Brajavasis never understood. All they understood is Krishna wants Govardhan Puja. And Krishna spoke some philosophy without any conviction. He said something, but his point is very clear, but he used some philosophy to make that point, which he is not very much convinced about. In fact, he counters that karma mimamsa philosophy in his teachings to Uddhava in the 11th canto. 10th canto he spoke karma mimamsa philosophy. 11th canto he said I am not approving it. He says in the 11th canto in Uddhava Gita. So anyways, he said our specific relationship is with Govardhan mountain. Because we are not city dwellers, we are not town dwellers, we are not village dwellers, we are forest dwellers, we are mountain wanderers. Brahmanas are guiding us in so many ways. It's better to worship cows and Govardhan mountain and Brahmanas instead of this Indra who is never visible to you. So Krishna apparently did Deva Helanam, neglected Devatas. Why? Krishna is Paramatma in the hearts of all living beings. He understands that Indra is very proud, very puffed up of his position as the king of heaven and provider of rains. So Krishna doesn't like pride in his devotees. He can tolerate other anarthas, he will try to purify them. And of course, even there is pride also, he will purify them. But pride he doesn't like. He wants us to be humble. That's what he said. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. In the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna gave the supreme teaching of Trinadapi sunichena. In the Sikshashtakam, you will not find any other emphasis on some sacrifices, austerities, and many other Vedic methods for purification. He says, holy name is the supreme. Durdaivam idrisham ihajani nanuragaha. You don't have attraction to holy name because you don't have humility, cultivated humility. Then you will be able to do kirtanas and arati. Then you will pass through the remaining higher stages of bhakti. So Krishna doesn't like pride in his devotees. So Indra was proud. Krishna wanted to destroy that pride. Yesterday we discussed Sudama's episode. Sudama was proud of his detachment. So Krishna wanted to purify him of the detachment by giving him wealth. Bali Maharaj was proud of his charitable disposition. Krishna wanted to take away all his property in the name of charity and prove that he cannot give proper charity. He gave 3 steps, he promised 3 steps, he gave him 2 steps. He gave a check that got bounced because of insufficient bank balance. Then he made him humble like that. So Krishna will humble people by giving wealth and taking away wealth. Now, Indra is very proud of his position. Indra is proud of receiving worship. Krishna took away that worship. Be humble. So Indra was very proud, and Krishna said that Govardhan is serving us in 100 different ways. And what is the proof? Srimati Radharani herself glorified. Krishna made this proposal of Govardhan Puja in 24th chapter of 10th canto. Just 2 chapters back. 21st chapter at the end, Srimati Radharani glorified Govardhan. Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varyo yadrama Krishna charana sparasha prabodaha manam tanoti sahago ganayostayoryat pani yasuyavasakam darakandabulai Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varyo. Oh my dear friends, see this Adri, this mountain is the best of all servants of Krishna. There are 3 Haridasas. There are 3 devotees who are described as Haridas in Bhagavatam. One is Yudhishthira Maharaj, you know for what reason. Second is Uddhava, you know for what reason. But the best of all Haridasas is Govardhan mountain, more intimate. Because Govardhan renders service cows. Paniya suya vasakandara kandamolai. Paniya, by offering water. There are so many kunds around Govardhan. By offering so many fruit juices, there are so many fruit trees in Govardhan. Paniya suya vasa, offering soft grasses to the cows to eat. Kandara, caves which can provide warmth to Krishna and all the Gopas when it is cool outside. And these caves can provide so much of cooling effect when it is very warm outside. And also protect all the Gopas from rain. Pani yasuya vasakandara kandamulai. Kandamula means all the fruits and roots. In this way, Govardhan services to the cowhead community are unparalleled. So let us worship Govardhan. Let us worship Brahmanas. Let us worship cows. Then all the Brajavasis agree. Whatever pleases Krishna, they will do. Samsiddhara Haritoshanam. This principle is manifested to the highest possible extent in the case of Brajavasis. They celebrated Govardhan Puja. Very elaborate. Krishna directed them how to celebrate Govardhan Puja. Krishna told, you make mountains of rice, kunds of dal, stacks of chapatis, hundreds and thousands of milk products, and whatever, now Italian, Mexican, so many things are in those days, Vraja recipes are there. So they offered all this bhoga to Govardhan on all sides. And Krishna also directed them to circumambulate Govardhan mountain, Govardhan Parikrama. So Govardhan, to cut the long story short, Govardhan mountain, the mountain god, appeared on the summit of Govardhan mountain, basically Krishna only. Krishna appeared in a 4-handed form, very gigantic form, and claimed, I am mountain god, I am Govardhan, I am Giriraj Govardhan, offer all your offerings to me. Then from all sides of the mountain, this prasadam, this bhoga was kept. And mountain god, basically Govardhan, in the form of a four-handed lord, just accepted, grabbed all these food items and ate and said, Adiyor, I want more. They already offered so much. So Krishna directed the gopis, you please offer tulsi leaf, he will be satisfied. So they offered tulsi leaf. And Govardhan not only was satisfied and remanifested all the bhoga that he ate and made it Mahaprasad. And Krishna directed all the Vrajavasis to distribute that Mahaprasadam to everybody, all the Gopas and Gopis, even dogs also, beggars also, you just distribute. So that was distributed. And Nanda Maharaj started offering prayers to Giriraj Govardhan. He said, Oh Govardhan, you have only one prayer. Krishna directed all the Vrajavasis, offer prayers. What was the prayer offered by Nanda Maharaj? He simply said, just make Krishna happy in all circumstances. My sons Krishna and Balaram should always be happy. That's their selfless prayer. They don't want anything else other than Krishna's happiness. Then all the Vrajavasis started circumambulating Govardhan under the direction of Krishna, and they were singing. One gopi was singing that, who killed Putana? Another gopi would respond to that in the form of a song. Krishna killed Putana. Who killed Shakatasur? Krishna killed Shakatasur. Who destroyed the pride of Indra? Krishna destroyed the pride of Indra. Who inaugurated Govardhan Puja? Krishna inaugurated Govardhan Puja. In this way, everybody was glorifying Krishna and thanking Krishna for this wonderful festival. They said that this is the best festival that we ever had. So, but they did not know. A better festival is coming up. A better festival than Govardhan Puja is awaiting them. And this Govardhan Puja is only one day. But they have a 70 festival awaiting them that they did not know. So they happily glorified Krishna, they went back to their homes. Meanwhile, the news that the Vrajavasis cancelled that year's Indra Puja went to Indra. Indra became furious. Everybody was happy, but Indra was unhappy. He called his Samvartaka clouds. These clouds are appointed to completely inundate the entire universe and destroy the entire universe. So Indra called them. Indra called also the wind gods. There are so many colorful clouds, grey clouds, pink clouds, red clouds, blue clouds, black clouds. So many types of clouds came, Samvartaka clouds. Then Indra also called the wind gods, because along with rain there should be wind also. So wind and water, both should destroy entire Vrindavan and all the Vrajavasis. Indra said, Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdham, Murkham, Panditamaninam. This little child Krishna is a talkative boy, Vachalam. Inexperienced child, Balisham, Stabdham, very obstinate. He is just making any kind of proposal, and these Vrajavasis, they are taking that proposal, they are doing Deva Helana. They are very proud of their prosperity. Because they are very prosperous due to their milk products and agricultural fields and other things. So they are very proud. I will destroy their pride. Atmavan manyate jagat. One who is proud will perceive pride in others. One who is envious will perceive envy in others. Indra was proud, he is thinking that Vrajavasis are proud. Just 7 years back, Indra accompanied Brahma and went on the shore of Milk Ocean and participated in offering that Purusha Sukta prayers. Krishna, please come, Mother Earth is overburdened. Now he himself wanted to burden Mother Earth. That is the situation. Anyways, Indra criticized Krishna in various ways. And Indra said, Samvartaka clouds, first you go and destroy entire Vrindavan. Samvartaka clouds had absolutely no inclination to destroy Vrindavan. And all the wind gods, even they had no inclination to destroy Vrindavan. But they are obliged to follow the instructions of a leader. Indra was their master. When the masters are not in proper consciousness, when the leaders are not in proper consciousness, they engage their subordinates in unmentionable things and they just boss over them. There is a sense of obligation to an imperfect master. Yesterday we discussed Krishna is perfect master. Tasmat bhavantam anavadyam anantaparam sarvagnam ishvaram akuntha vikuntha dhishnyam. Uddhava says, you are anavadyam. You have absolutely no flaws in your character. You are a perfect master. Who is a perfect master? One who always protects his servants. One who never exploits his servants. Such is a perfect master. But Indra was not a perfect master. Indra is just engaging his servants in satisfying his own ego. When we are not in proper consciousness, we cannot benefit ourselves in any way, and we cannot even benefit those people who are submitting to us, supposed to be guided by us or nourished by us. We misguide them also. Andha yathander upaniyamana tepisha tantriyam urudam nibandha. Bhagavatam describes Indra's mentality as Ishamani syndrome. Ishamani. I am Isha. I am the master. I am the controller. I am the proprietor. I am the enjoyer. Who is Krishna? That was the mentality of Indra. So when the king or leader is not in proper consciousness, the followers have to or obliged to follow his instructions, which are not necessarily worthy instructions. So Indra engaged in this way. He criticized Krishna in various ways. He criticized Vrajavasis in so many ways. And all these Samartika clouds came. And Samartika clouds, they were showering so much of rain. It was just the beginning. Then all the Vrajavasis, they felt so much pain. The normal Gopas and Gopis, regular Gopas and Gopis in the village, especially the cows, bulls, calves, they were extremely tormented. The calves were so frightened that they went under the legs of their cows, and the cows were trying to protect the calves under the skin that hangs below their neck. They are trying to protect the calves. Cows were troubled and calves were troubled. And the Gopas and Gopis were very much perturbed. They all went to Krishna, and Krishna understood that Indra has created this havoc in Vrindavan. Now another leela shakti, the leela of the leela shakti here. How can Vrajavasis be troubled so much? How can cows be tormented so much in the presence of Krishna? How can there be so much of havoc in Vrindavan, floods in Vrindavan, where people could not discriminate between highlands and lowlands? Everything is inundated by water. Rainwater is pouring like thick pillars. So much of havoc is created in Vrindavan before Krishna even lifted Vrindavan. Why Vrajavasis are troubled so much? All these arrangements are made by Leela Shakti of Krishna. Why? After eating 5 mirchis, Rasgulla appears very sweet. After eating 5 rasgullas, Rasgulla doesn't taste very sweet, right? The taste of Rasgulla is very much enhanced when you eat a mirchi, when we are having Nayanam Galadam when you are crying in ecstasy of eating chilies. So the Leela Shakti has created so much of havoc there, and apparently it is Indra's disturbance, but Leela Shakti allowed that to happen and made Vrajavasis feel tormented, experience the torture, so that when Krishna lifts Govardhan, everything appears very sweet. If rain is coming, not a drop of rain is touching the Vrajavasis, no cover, no calf is tormented, and Krishna lifts Govardhan. Why lifting Govardhan? Nothing is, this rain is not affecting us at all. we will see. But when they are troubled by this rain, then Krishna lifts Govardhan, then there is rasa. Because all these pastimes are designed, are orchestrated in such a way where the rasa comes out more. Experience of Adbhuta rasa is more. For example, recently we celebrated Narasimha Chaturdasi. Narasimha was roaring there. Although so many devatas offered prayers, Narasimha Deva was not at all pacified. Then then Lakshmi Devi said, some devatas asked Lakshmi Devi, can you please go and pacify your husband? He's so furious. Lakshmi Devi said, no, I have not seen my husband in such a ferocious form ever. I will not go near him. She hesitated. Why? Leela Shakti's creation. Leela Shakti influenced Lakshmi Devi to say that she has not seen her husband in such a ferocious form. But she has seen Narasimha Deva before also. So many times. Narasimha Deva's form is eternal. But just to create an astonishment, create Adbhuta Rasa, Leela Shakti influenced Lakshmi Devi to feel so fearful and not approach Narasimha Deva, so that Prahalad would get an opportunity to go and pacify him. To highlight one devotee there, so many devotees took a back seat and low profile to push the devotee in front. That is Leela Shakti. Long back, we were organizing a Ramayana drama in GEV. One devotee was playing the role of Ravana with a big mukut and black dress with a moustache, paint here. And another devotee, our singer, Jaisachanandan Prabhu, he was playing the role of Sita. He wore a saffron saree. Another devotee, he was our driver, Gauranga Prabhu. You know him?
Yes.
So he was playing the role of Jatayu. Right?
Garuda became Jatayu.
Garuda became Jatayu. The dressing was so elaborate. Jaisachanandan Prabhu simple, like simple saffron saree he wore. But Garuda Prabhu has a big with a big beak, and whole body is like a fur body, and then here some claws were there, legs also, shoes were also like claws. Big decoration, dressing, and the director planned for a 5-minute fight between Ravana and Jatayu. With a very heavy background music, with light focused on them. Then our Ravana devotee came and caught Sita.
Very nice, Ravana.
Caught Sita devotee. Drama artist. Here in drama also, but you need to understand that artists are not performing well. Let me come to that. So Ravana devotee came and caught Sita devotee. And our Jatayu devotee came. Garuda Prabhu came. Ravana had a big sword. He did like this, plastic sword. He did like this. And Garuda Prabhu fell down. He fell flat and Ravana is waiting. When will he get up inside? The plan was 5 minutes fight. But in 5 seconds he fell down. Background music was playing, full sound. Ravana devotee waited for, just few seconds, 10-20 seconds, half minute, he patiently waited for him to get up. He's not getting up. He took Sita and left. And for 5 minutes, audience did not know what to do. They are just seeing Garuda Prabhu sleeping on the stage with a focus light on his. And background music is so planned that after that only the next clip will come. Now if they muddle around, something else will happen. So directors were sleeping, everybody was sleeping there. So Adbhuta Rasa was disturbed. So why? Everybody knows. Ultimately Ravana will take Sita away. And Jatayu will die. Everybody knows. But that has to happen after 5 minutes. Not in 5 seconds. Right? 5 minutes is meant for experiencing Adbhuta Rasa. Right? Anxiety. People should become anxious. They should get emotional. Similarly in Govardhan also, if Krishna just directly lifts Govardhan, there is no astonishment. So the Leela Shakti has to create so much of... Leela Shakti has to allow Indra's reign to create so much disturbance in Vrindavan, so that when Krishna lifts Govardhan mountain, everybody experiences that astonishment. Okay? So, finally, Krishna understood. Tasmat Matcharanam Goshtam Mannatham Matparigraham. Yesterday we recited this shloka. Krishna has taken a vow to protect all the devotees. These Brajavasis have taken my shelter. I must protect them at any cost. So, Krishna just ran from Nanda Bhavan to Govardhan mountain. Krishna could have protected the Brajavasis in any way. He could have expanded Nanda Bhavan and called all the cows and calves and gopas and gopis and said, come here. Happily, let's play here, let's have 1 week picnic here. He did not do that. He ran towards Govardhan, and when he was running, he did not even tighten his waist belt, just to show so much indifference to Indra. You created devastating rainfall in Vrindavan. I don't value it at all. To counteract it, I will lift Govardhan and effortlessly protect all my Brajavasis. So just to show indifference, he did not even tighten his waist belt and he ran. And when he ran, not a single drop of water touched Krishna's body. His clothes did not become wet. His peacock feather did not become wet. His waist belt did not become wet. Just like when Vasudeva was carrying baby Krishna on his birthday from Kamsa's prison cell to Nanda Gokul, this Yamuna river gave him way. Similarly, this rain gave Krishna way to go to Govardhan mountain. It's quite far. Nanda Bhavan to Govardhan mountain is quite far. But Krishna did that. Why did Krishna utilize only Govardhan mountain to protect Brajavasis? The answer is simple. Manam tanoti sahago ganayostayoryat. Because Govardhan has given so much of respect to Krishna. Krishna wanted to give that respect to Govardhan and that fame to Govardhan, that Govardhan has protected all Brajavasis. Let the credit of protecting all the Brajavasis go to Govardhan, not me, not anyone else, not any other spot. When a devotee completely selflessly renders service to the Lord wants to highlight the glories of the devotee so much. Yesterday we discussed it elaborately. That's one of the foremost qualities of Krishna. How he highlighted Bhishma, how he highlighted Hanuman, Arjuna, Bhima, Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, Ramananda Rai. So the Lord takes pleasure in glorifying Govardhan, glorifying devotees. Amongst all the devotees, Govardhan is best. Haridasa Varya. Therefore, to give maximum credit to Govardhan mountain, Krishna chose to lift Govardhan mountain only. So Krishna went and just lifted Govardhan mountain effortlessly on his little finger, as effortlessly as a baby elephant lifts a sugar cane, as effortlessly as a small child lifts a mushroom. He held it on his hand, on his little finger. How exactly did he do it? Nobody knows. And everybody saw it. Everybody saw it, nobody knows how exactly he did it. So when Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain, a big rock got disconnected from the bottom of Govardhan mountain, making a nice space for Krishna to stand on. So Krishna stood on that stand and then held it like this. Like this. Then he called all the Brajavasis and said, come. They were astonished. Adbhutarsa. So don't worry, Govardhan mountain is here to protect all of us because you worshipped Govardhan mountain with so much sincerity. Govardhan is reciprocating with your worship by protecting you. Come. Indra's rainfall will not do anything to you. He gave that reassurance to all the Brajavasis. And Brajavasis entered with so much faith in Krishna's words. Brajavasis were so eager to see Krishna's beautiful form under Govardhan mountain, and they did not have any anxiety for their homes. Oh, I did not lock my home. What happened to my home when there are flood waters? See, they were not thinking about it at all. In fact, although it is Indra who has created this devastating rainfall, and in response to that rainfall, Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain, please understand, Indra is just acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. Some time back we discussed all the demons were utilized by Leela Shakti to enhance the flavor of Krishna's pastimes. Even Devatas also utilized like that. Brahma came and stole. Definitely there is a mistake on his part. But from another perspective, Krishna wanted to reciprocate with all the Gopas, all the gopis who wanted to serve Krishna like Mother Yashoda. Therefore, Krishna took the form of all their sons and experienced the Vatsalya Prema from these mothers. Similarly here, Krishna also wanted to give a separate private audience to all the gopis, all the Vrajavasis at once, simultaneously. That's why Indra had to create a devastating rainfall. Indra did a mistake, definitely. You are not denying that. But Indra's mistake is not the main thing in Govardhan Lila. Krishna's desire to spend one full week continuously with all the devotees of all rasas in Vrindavan under Govardhan is the main thing. That is the main purpose. Why Krishna want to spend time with all of them? Krishna, every day morning he gets up and he goes to the forest and spends whole day with the Gopas and the cows in the forest. So all the Shanta Bhaktas, all the Sakya Bhaktas are getting Krishna's association throughout the day. They are playing with Krishna, they are jumping up and down, they are having so many games with Krishna. In the games they are defeating Krishna and Krishna had to carry them on their back. Sometimes Krishna is defeating them and Krishna becomes fatigued. He will keep his head on some Gopa's lap and another Gopa would just fan Krishna with a tree branch or some peacock feathers, and Balramji would come and massage Krishna's feet. Like that, Krishna is giving so much of love and affection and his time to all the Gopas throughout the day. Ittham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena shakam vijahra krita punya punjaha. So all the Gopas are fortunate enough to get Krishna's intimate association throughout the day. But in the evening, they feel very sad. Oh, we have to go back home. Can't we stay for some more? Can't the day be extended? Why only 24 hours in a day? Why only 12 hours of daytime or 16 hours of daytime? Let it be extended. Evening has come, they feel so sad. All this while, the gopis, especially Vatsalya Gopi Mother Yashoda, who is staying back in her home, she is feeling separation. She would wait for Krishna. When it was like evening time, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever, Yashoda becomes anxious. Krishna might come at any time. 1 more hour, 2 more hours. She is anxious. She would sit with younger gopis and her neighboring gopis and she would discuss about Krishna. They are doing Krishna Katha. And they are recollecting all the pastimes of Krishna. And Yashoda Mata would say, please gopis, can you please narrate something about Krishna so that my feelings of separation are mitigated? She is unable to tolerate that separation throughout the day. And towards the evening, Mother Yashoda would say, she would tell some younger gopis, small gopis, can you please go up and see, go on the terrace and see whether if Krishna has come or not. This little gopi would just climb on the stairs, go on the terrace, and she would see, Yashoda Maya, nobody is there. Krishna is not coming. He is nowhere to be seen. After a few minutes, Yashoda Mata will say, go up and see again. Again this gopi would see, Krishna is not there. He is not coming yet. Some more Krishna Katha. After some time, this gopi would go and see, give a report. Yashoda Maya, I can see some Godhuli. Some Godhuli is just coming closer. Probably Krishna is coming. Yashoda Maya, I am able to hear Krishna's flute song faintly. Maybe Krishna is coming back. Then she would see Krishna is actually there. From a distance she could see. Then she would announce to Mother Yashoda loudly. Then Yashoda Mata would immediately instruct another younger gopi. Go inside and prepare an arti plate. Prepare an arti plate and the younger gopi will make an arti plate. And you see that picture behind.
Yes, Krishna.
Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj, they are receiving Krishna. And some younger gopis are holding arti plate. Such a beautiful painting.
Yeah.
So that's how Yashoda Mata would receive so much love and affection. This is Vatsalya Prema. The Vatsalya devotees get Krishna's association from evening to morning. And from morning to evening, they are in separation. And Also, the Dasya Bhaktas, Raktaka, Patraka, Chitraka, they are the Dasya Bhaktas in Vrindavan. They are the servants of Nanda Maharaj, house servants of Nanda Maharaj. They would get an opportunity to serve Krishna. They would make arrangements for all the taking bath and doing other things. So Krishna would just take some prasad, take some bath, he would take prasad, spend some time with Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata, and he would go to sleep. Middle of the night. There's a knock on the door of Nanda Bhavan. Yashoda Mata would open the door. Nobody's there. She would look down, some kids are there. These Gopas were knocking the door. They said, Krishna, come, let's go to the forest. Because of their intense separation from Krishna, these boys were unable to sleep in the night. They would get up in the middle of the night, they will come from their home to Yashoda Mata's home, and they will call Krishna, please come. Then Yashoda Mata would say, it's for 1 o'clock in the night. This is not the time for you to go. Go and sleep properly. And early morning you come, then I will send Krishna. Go. She would send and come and sleep. That's how the Gopas are in separation throughout the day. Early in the morning, Yashoda Mata would bathe Krishna, dress Krishna, decorate Krishna, pack lunchbox for Krishna, and she would send him to the forest. As Krishna is moving, he's going to the forest along with the Gopas and calves. Yashoda Mata would call, Krishna, come back, please come back. What happened, Mother Yashoda? Then Yashoda Mata would say, your waist belt is not tied properly, let me just adjust it. So she would adjust. Krishna would move a few steps ahead. Mother Yashoda would say, Krishna, come back, please stop. And she would run behind Krishna and she would say, Krishna, your peacock feather is not tucked properly on your turban. Let me just fix it. She would just do some adjustment there. Again Krishna is moving. Mother Yashoda would say, Krishna, please stop. Again she would run behind Krishna and she would ask, did you take a special sweet that I have packed for your lunch? Mother Yashoda says, Krishna says, I have taken. Krishna walks few steps ahead. Then Mother Yashoda would say, Krishna, please stop. Mother Yashoda says, you want to come with me, Mother? To the forest or what? Why are you stopping me so many times? So then Yashoda Mata would just stand there till the last speck of dust of all the cows' hoofs settles down. She would stand there like a figure in a painting, seeing Krishna off as he's entering the forest. That is her separation. And Krishna went into the forest. She'll come back. She'll make some special sweet for Krishna. She will call Raktaka, Patraka, Chitraka, please come here. Take this special sweet, go to the forest, sits where Krishna is there in the forest along with his cows and give him this prasad by lunchtime. Again they will go. Whole day she was in separation from Krishna, meditating on Krishna. Whole night the Gopas are in separation from Krishna, they are meditating on Krishna. So Sakhya Bhaktas, Vatsalya Bhaktas, Shanta Bhaktas, Dasya Bhaktas, we discussed about their association with Krishna at different times of the day. What about Madhurya Bhaktas? They don't have any slot. They don't have any officially elected slot at all. When Krishna is entering the forest of Vrindavan, these gopis would just come out of their homes and they would see Krishna. Some gopis would sit on their balconies and see Krishna. Some people will just cover their faces and then they shower their sidelong glances on Krishna. Social culture. And they would sing Vedu Gita. Akshan vatam phalamidam naparam vidamaha. So they express their feelings of frustration that elders, social customs, Vedic regulations are not allowing us to freely even see Krishna, or to speak of talking with him and associating with him. They are in separation. The only darshan they get is when Krishna is going into the forest and coming back from the forest. That's the only association that Krishna can give to these gopis. And even when there is some confrontation, means they both come near each other, they cannot look straight into each other's eyes also. That's how the Madhurya devotees are deprived of Krishna's direct association, because they are the topmost devotees of Krishna. They are always in feelings of separation from Krishna. Gopi means one whose devotion or love for Krishna is Gopya. hidden. Okay, they are constantly experiencing feelings of separation from Krishna. Love for the beloved is experienced in two ways: the joy of meeting and the pain of separation. And the pain of separation is even more excruciating. And that experience is given more to the Madhurya devotees than the other devotees. Sometime back we discussed Kali Lila. Krishna successfully subdued Kaliya and came out of Vrindavan. He came out of Kaliya lake. Then Yashoda Mata came and hugged Krishna. Nandamaya came and embraced Krishna. All the Gopa boys came and then lifted Krishna and then threw him in the air and then caught him again. All the little calves and cows came and started licking Krishna's body. But what were the gopis doing? Madhurya gopis. They were standing in a corner and then just glancing Krishna. Separation. Because they are the topmost devotees of Krishna, their opportunity to express their intimate love for Krishna is restricted, and it is always gopya, confidential, hiding within, and they don't have much opportunity to express it. When the opportunity to express is less, the intensity of love is more. The intensity of emotion is more. You want it, you freely get it, then there is not much maja. But you are desperate for it, you are not getting it. The longing, the hankering will increase so much. When yesterday we were discussing with Adhikadhara Prabhu, Bharat Maharaj's episode, when Bharat was a king, he was distracted by the deer. But when Bharat became a deer, he became more focused. And when he became more focused, more Krishna conscious, and also repenting for the mistake of distraction that he had done before, he did not have much opportunity. Because he did not have a human body. He cannot do all austerities and all the puja and japa, homa, varta, tapa and all that he has done in a human body, he cannot do in a deer body. Internally there is so much of hankering, so much of love and affection for Krishna, so much of repentance for the past mistake he has done, so much of humility. But the scope of expression has been restricted because of animal body. You see? And that situation causes intense purification. That will purify us faster. Therefore, when we are deprived of an opportunity to render service, don't feel bad. That's an opportunity for us to intensify our remembrance of Krishna, increase our dependence on Krishna, become more prayerful, become more intense, tibra in our emotions. That will help us. But if those emotions will lead to frustration and we start blaming other devotees, that will lead to offenses. So a devotee utilizes calamity as an opportunity to intensify one's remembrance of Krishna rather than getting into a blame game or ridiculing other people or getting into offenses. Okay, let's come back to Vrindavan. So the gopis of Vrindavan had limited opportunity to associate with him. So Krishna thought, all the devotees of all five rasas are only getting some small or big slots in a day to associate with me. And I know when they are not with me, how much they are in pain of separation. Every evening, when I go to Nanda Bhavan, when my friends have to go into their homes, I can see their faces. They are not very happy. They wanted to be with me only. Every morning, when I am going into the forest, all the mothers, they are not very happy. They wanted to come with me, but they cannot come. They want me to stay back, but I should not stay back. So separation was inevitable. So let me just give them an opportunity to be with me 7/24.
Jai Ho.
And that's the background of Govardhan. And what is Indra's role here? We may think that Indra is the doer. Indra is not the doer. Although he is creating a devastating rainfall in Vrindavan, still he is not the doer. You may think, Kartaham iti manyuti, ahankara vimodhatma. Because of his ahankar, he thought that he is creating a devastating rainfall in Vrindavan to destroy all the Vrajavasis and defeat the pride of Krishna. But he is just a small instrument in the hands of Leela Shakti or in Krishna's desires to fulfill the desires of the Gopas and Gopis and give them constant association 7/24. So, nobody can claim to be a master or controller or proprietor or enjoyer or doer of anything. Everybody is acting as an instrument in Krishna's plans, Krishna's energies, either spiritual energy or material energy. Even if somebody is in poor consciousness, degraded consciousness, Krishna is expert in using that person's degraded consciousness to enhance the flavor of his own pastimes. Even if somebody is in poor consciousness that he wants to fight with Krishna, Krishna can enjoy fighting pleasure with them. Chanura, Mushtika, Shala, Toshla, Kuta. They are in poor consciousness. They wanted to fight with Krishna. Krishna enjoyed fighting pleasure with them. Of course, not as much as he enjoyed fighting with Jambavan, but still, they gave some fighting pleasure. So whether we are in poor consciousness or pure consciousness, we are meant to give Krishna enjoyment. Why not identify ourselves as servants and give that enjoyment to Krishna voluntarily instead of trying to take Krishna's position as an enjoyer? Indra created devastating rainfall. Who created? Can he create anything? No offense to Indra. He is given that privilege or he is given that power by Krishna only. And he uses that power to serve the residents on the earthly planet. So he is participating in Krishna's plan. When he misuses that power also, he is participating in Krishna's plan only. But for misusing his power, he will get his reaction. Right? This is the irony. This is the speciality of Krishna Lila. We have our independence. Although everything is nicely orchestrated by Krishna and his energies, still our intelligence has a role to play. Our independence, minute independence has a role to play. Someone asked me, Krishna is the controller of everything. Krishna, without Krishna's sanction, not a blade of grass moves. And what about our minute independence? I said, our minute independence is also sanctioned by Krishna. Without his sanction, nothing happens. Then what is the role of my independence? Yeah, your independence is sanctioned by Krishna. And he will not interfere with your independence. He consciously chooses not to know what he will do with your independence. Still he knows. Somebody asked Prabhupada, can Krishna create a stone that he cannot lift it? Prabhupada said, yes, Krishna can create a stone that he cannot lift and he will lift it. Right? Inconceivable. If you can understand everything about Krishna, our conditioned souls, we will also become Bhagavan. Anyways, come back to Govardhan. So Krishna lifted Govardhan with this background. He wanted to give his association, his loving association, shower his loving glances and be bathed in the loving glances of all the Vrajavasis continuously for 1 week. And Indra is an instrument in his plans. So Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. All the Vrajavasis came and surrounded Krishna. I think Garga Samhita or Harivamsha. I forgot. I think Gopal Chandra. That very beautifully describes who is standing where in Govardhan Lila. I think I have that picture here. Yeah, this one. Yeah. On Krishna's right side, Rohini Mata was holding Balaram and standing. And Yashoda Mata is on this side. That's okay. Everybody is able to see. And on the right side, young Srimati Radharani. So she's glancing on Krishna. And Madhumangal is on this side. And Krishna is wearing yellow dhoti with red kamarpatti. Red waist cloth. That is also mentioned. Color is also mentioned. So this is very nicely made exactly according to the description. There's a shloka also. I forgot the shloka. Anyways, so Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. Okay, he lifted Govardhan mountain, protecting them from rain from top. What about flood waters coming from bottom? Flood waters can come from bottom also. So when Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain, all the big rocks and soil mounts of earth fell around Govardhan mountain, creating a protective wall. Nice wall is built, but that is not sufficient. Krishna invoked the presence of Adisesha, Anantasesha. Anantasesha, come here and coil this perimeter of Govardhan and create a protective wall. So nicely packed. Govardhan, this whole thing is nicely packed, and inside that they are there. Now, Govardhan mountain is a medium-sized hill. How could Govardhan accommodate hundreds and thousands of Rajavasis, Gopas, Gopis, lakhs of cows, so many calves, bulls, peacocks, monkeys, parrots? How many Rajavasis are there? All of them, can they fit under Govardhan? Is it congested? No. By the divine touch of Krishna's little finger, Govardhan mountain expanded. Expanded so much that he could accommodate every Vrajavasi under its shelter by Krishna's empowerment. On our own, we cannot do anything. If we do anything, it's only by Krishna's grace. It's only by Krishna's empowerment. So Krishna lifted Govardhan. Okay, fine. Krishna has nicely protected all the Vrajavasis from top, from bottom, from sides. What about Govardhan? One Govardhan. By the touch of Krishna's divine finger, Govardhan is ready to tolerate all these thunderbolts and rains, which are like falling like thick pillars. All the clouds are moving in the sky like gigantic elephants. Each drop of water is like a big elephant. Elephants falling down. Thick pillars of rain is falling down. It's not just a small jaladhara. It is like a pillar. So Krishna thought, let me protect Govardhan also. He invoked the presence of Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra was just nicely rotating above, on top of Govardhan, and absorbing every single drop of water that is falling from Indra's clouds. As we discussed yesterday also, nobody has created as much havoc in Vrindavan as Indra has created. When a devotee is not in proper consciousness, he can create more disturbance in a spiritual society than an outsider can create. Indra did like that. So nicely an ambience is created, and inside, under Govardhan mountain, all the Vrajavasis are there, and Govardhan is nicely packed by the coils of Anantasesha on all the sides. Where is light inside? Are there any tube lights and halogen lights? Where is light coming? They all had self-effulgent bodies. One child said, where is light coming? I asked this question. He said, there is a window. Anantasesha is creating some window space. And even if there is window, outside there is rain, there is no sun. So it was very blissful experience for all the Gopas and Gopis to see Krishna continuously at this moment. Batu, Madhumangal said, Krishna, why are you lifting Govardhan mountain? No need. By my Brahmanical tejas, I will make it stand like that. You don't have to lift. Krishna smiled. Then Mother Yashoda said, Krishna, you are very impudent. You are extremely restless. Why did you stop Indra Puja? Now Indra became very angry, and he created this unseasonal rainfall in Vrindavan, and you will have to hold Govardhan mountain like that. Now if you just use logic, it doesn't make much sense that Yashoda Mother is believing that Krishna is holding Govardhan mountain. She could believe that Krishna had the power, 7-year-old Krishna had the power to lift Govardhan mountain. Now you see how to lift so much of heavy weight. Because she was so overwhelmed with Vatsalya Prema, she is not intellectually evaluating or assessing the strength of a 7-year-old boy, but she is, Krishna, you are lifting so much weight. As if he is lifting some 10 kilos. Then also mothers are concerned. If you lift 10 kilos weight also, mothers become concerned. If you just meet them after 10 days, they'll say, "Hari, kala ho gaya, patla ho gaya." they will express their concern that you have become thin, you have become very weak, you have become very dark. I will be this, and they will just do this dishti. That's motherly affection. There is, no one can replicate it or artificially imbibe it. So Mother Yashoda felt concerned, Krishna, you have to lift so much of weight. Why are you so impudent like that? Then Madhumangal intervened. He said, Yashoda Mata, very good that Krishna stopped Indra Puja. Because Indra became angry and because Indra created this devastating rainfall in Vrindavan, today we are able to see this beautiful form of Giridhari, Krishna. Then Yashoda Mata said, you are not lifting the mountain. My son is lifting the mountain. Why are you cracking all these jokes? Then Madhumangal said, what do you think? I can also lift the mountain. By the power of my mantras, Brahmanical mantras, I can keep this mountain afloat. Krishna is not lifting. Then Yashoda Mata chastised, impudent one. You are too naughty. You have no filter here. You speak anything. Then Nanda Maharaj intervened. Mother Yashoda, why are you unnecessarily chastising Madhumangal? He is trying to lighten the mood by creating some jokes. Don't worry, it's okay. Now we are under shelter. Let's see, when the rain will stop, we'll just go out. Nanda Maharaj is kind of pacifying. Then some Gopas volunteered. They said, Krishna, I think you can take some rest. We lift the mountain with some stones. They are also unable to assess how heavy Govardhan mountain must be. They are able to see that entire Vrindavan community was under Govardhan mountain. And Krishna is lifting it with his little finger. And although Krishna is exhibiting this superhuman deed right in front of the eyes of so many people, still they are not thinking that Krishna is God. At one point Yashoda Mata said that Krishna, you have become so thin, you have become so weak, your belly has caved in. Please take some prasad. This time Madhumangal agreed with Mother Yashoda. He said, yes, Mother Yashoda, what you are saying is very practical. Krishna, you should be obedient to your mother. Just let's take prasad. So then Yashoda Mata started feeding Krishna, and Krishna is just standing there and he is eating, and the friends also, Krishna's friends also ate. Now don't question. When they are running under Govardhan, did they get all the milk products? Did they get all the stove and then sugar and ingredients for cooking? All this will be arranged by Leela Shakti. No worries. Anything can happen. They did not carry any lanterns or torches. Still they have self-effulgent bodies. Nobody is questioning about it. Lightning is outside. Light is not inside. Under Govardhan. So there is a big storm outside, above Govardhan, but under Govardhan there is a bigger storm. Krishna's bluish body is the cloud. Krishna's peacock feather is the rainbow. Krishna's loving glances and smiles are the rains. And sometimes the rains are combined with Radha and his glances and smiles also. So there is a storm inside. And there are games, there are jokes, there is dance, there is singing. Big parties happening under Govardhan. Bigger celebration than Govardhan Puja. We can celebrate Govardhan Puja, but this pastime we cannot celebrate. Only we have to enter Krishna Lila by purifying ourselves. Then we may participate in this pastime. Till then, discuss the pastime. Meditate on the Lila. So Krishna was in the middle, and all these loving exchanges were happening. And after some time, Krishna thought, maybe all these people are very anxious. Let me just lighten the mood by playing flute. While lifting Govardhan mountain, while standing in Tribhanga form, with his legs crossed like that, he took this flute with his right hand and started filling the flute with the nectar of his lips, creating mesmerizing ragas. This time Madhumangal became anxious. He said, Krishna, why are you playing flute now? When you play a flute, rocks will melt. Before even Indra's rainfall could inundate us, Govardhan will inundate us. Then somebody intervened. Madhumangal, don't be unnecessarily anxious. Govardhan is very patient. Govardhan knows when to melt and when not to melt. You don't worry. Krishna will play flute. We continue to play flute. And as Krishna is playing flute, Radharani is showering her loving glances on Krishna. And Krishna becomes slightly distracted. And he was holding this mountain, right? It became, the mountain started shaking. Everybody became alarmed. And some people started putting the sticks to support. They thought Krishna must be tired. And some gopis noticed. This is not that Krishna is not tired. Looks like Radharani is distracting him, and Krishna is getting distracted by Radharani. They told Radharani, you have to hide your emotions. And Krishna also became a little sober. I'm in public. I can't exhibit my feelings like this. But still privately he is just having his leelas. His glances on Radharani and gopis are very playful with Madhurya flavor. His glances and smiles and conversations with Gopas are very jovial with his friends, Gopa friends. And his glances and smiles on the elders are very respectful, very sober, very gentle. In this way, Krishna is reciprocating with everybody under Govardhan. And at one point, Madhumangal commented on the elders. Some elder Gopas were supporting Govardhan mountain with their sticks. Then Madhumangal started commenting on them. What are you doing? Do you think you can lift Govardhan mountain? You are merely scratching the bottom of Govardhan. You are not doing anything else. You better take off your sticks. Then Krishna said, Madhumangal, what are you saying? You are not supposed to speak like that to our elders. Out of their fatherly affection, they are trying to help me and support me. So you don't discourage them, you keep quiet. So Madhumangal kept quiet. So like that there was great celebration. 1 week passed like this. 1 week passed like one moment. For me also last 4 days in Atlanta passed like 4 minutes. When there is a display of love and affection, no one can notice the passage of time. When there is absorption in the activity that we are doing, Krishna conscious activity that we are doing, passage of time doesn't matter. Boredom, exhaustion, distraction will not overwhelm the person. So here, this ecstasy was happening. Then Indra understood. After 1 week, Samartaka clouds could not move a speck of dust from Vrindavan, could not even move a dry leaf in Vrindavan. So all the Samartaka clouds went to Indra and said, Indra, no water left. All tanks are empty. We don't have enough water in our bodies to even shed tears. So we have become waterless. We are very dry. Nirjal. So we have exhausted all water, but we could not do anything to Brajavasis. What are they doing? They are having picnic there. 1 week we have created picnic time for them. All the cows, everybody is under Govardhan. Then Indra understood. He was humiliated, he was humbled, and Indra wanted to beg forgiveness from Krishna. So something is happening in the upper planets. Meanwhile, Krishna understood. Indra has stopped dreaming. They are able to see sunlight. And Krishna said, Sudarshan, out. Your service is over. Anantasesha, your service is over. All of them disappeared. And everything is clear. Clear sky and clear land. And Krishna said, rain is over. All of you can go out. Not a single Brajavasi had the mood to come out of Govardhan. Krishna subdued Kaliya and came out of Kaliya lake. Not a single Brajavasi had the mood to go back home. They were what? In Kaliya episode, all the Vrajavasis felt some inauspicious omens when Krishna was arrested by Kaliya's coils. Every single Vrajavasi felt that Krishna must be in danger. When we have some inauspicious omens, in our bodies or in the climate, we think something inauspicious is going to happen to us. But they all thought that Krishna must be in some danger. They did not even lock their homes. They did not even complete the tasks that they were doing. As soon as they had inauspicious moments, they all ran towards Kaliya lake, seeing Krishna, to see Krishna. How did they know that Krishna is at Kaliya lake? Krishna's footprints are everywhere. Krishna's footprints are the real ornaments of Vrindavan. Vrindavanam sakhi bhuvo vitanoti kirtim yaddevaki sutapadam bujalabdha lakshmi. Vrindavan's real ornaments are Krishna's footprints. No Gopa or Gopi or a cow or a calf or a peacock or parrot would disturb the footprints. Where to find Krishna is easy. Without Krishna sending his live GPS location, you can easily trace where Krishna is by following his footprints. They all followed Krishna's footprints and went to Kaliya lake. And Krishna subdued Kaliya and came out. Not a single Vrajavasi had the inclination to go back to their homes. I didn't lock my home, or I kept rice for boiling. I came out. What would have happened to the rice? They were not thinking about that at all. They wanted to stay there only. Krishna said, "Fine, let's stay here." That whole night, after Krishna subdued Kaliya, they slept on the bank of Yamuna. And now also, after 1 week of staying with Krishna continuously, not a single Vrajavasi felt that they have to go back home. They wanted to stay there only. But Krishna this time said, "You better go back home." But still, they were just moving there. And Krishna lifted Govardhan, and all the Vrajavasis were coming out. But some Vrajavasis said that, "Krishna, you will also go out first. We'll keep the mountain back and come." And Krishna slightly released the weight of Govardhan on their sticks. The sticks started breaking. And they ran away outside. Finally, Krishna kept it back. Kept Govardhan mountain back and he came out. Everybody saw how Krishna kept mountain back in its place. Nobody understood how it happened. In GEV, we have this Chandrika. How many of you came to GEV? Some of you. There is a Chandrika, means there is a carved stone which is 5 tons heavy. So it is nicely carved right in front of Vrindavan Bihari altar on the ceiling. It's popularly called a Kalpa Vriksha. Entire temple is built and temple hall is built, temple is inaugurated, deities are installed, worship started happening, but that carving took 6 months. Very intricate carving, right in GV only. 6 or 5 months, something like that. So after such a long time after installation, we had to keep this heavy 5-ton stone in its place. The guru is set. There are JCBs and poclains and many devotees are trying so much to keep it there with their employees, but somehow it's not fitting there. An entire this endeavor is being shot on camera. They are trying to fit there, somehow it's not happening. They just pull it out and start sizzling a little bit. Again try to keep it there. 5-ton stone in the air on the belt. So they are trying to fit it there and somehow nothing is happening. Whole day, several hours passed like that. Everything is recorded. Finally, after so much of endeavor, somehow they brought it closer to the groove and left it there. It just fit into that groove. That portion is not recorded. How it happened, God knows. Radharani knows. Everybody saw how Krishna kept Govardhan back in his place. Nobody understood how it happened. This man is such a huge mountain, he lifted and then he's keeping it back. He's under it. And he has to, you see, it's like this. He's here. But he's not keeping like this. His hand is also here and the mountain is so big, he has to come out, right?
Yeah.
He has to come out and place it there. How exactly it happens, nobody knows. But everybody saw it. Once he came out, all the Krishna saw, they examined the faces of Vrajavasis. They are very anxious. They are very concerned about me. They thought that I am very tired. I think I need to lighten their mood. See how much Krishna values their emotions. When he steals butter, when they're agitated, Krishna understands they're happy. Externally they're agitated, but they're happy. But sometimes externally they're smiling also, internally they're anxious. Krishna understands it. We cannot go only by the external expression. We need to see the internal emotion. That requires sukshmadhi. As yesterday we discussed. Krishna sees bhava of a devotee. All the gopis who came to Yashoda Mata to complain against Krishna's stealing activities, Krishna understands. Although they are apparently agitated, they are angry. In hearts they are blissful. Therefore Krishna is provoking them even more. Speaking lies and denying any responsibility for all the mistake that has happened. But this time, externally they are smiling, but internally they are anxious. Oh, what happened to Krishna? 7-year-old boy. Hundreds and thousands of Brativasis are there. We made a 7-year-old boy to stretch himself to protect us for 7 days and 7 nights. They are anxious with him. Krishna thought of lightening the mood. How does he lighten? He takes flute and effortlessly plays flute. When Krishna plays flute, everybody is distracted or attracted to Krishna's flute and their minds are diverted and they are made to think that Krishna is happy and comfortable. He did not accept himself. He is not unhappy. They think that. So when Krishna is playing flute, Mother Yashoda came and said, Yashoda Mata, Krishna, is this the time to play flute? Better eat something. Krishna is not stopping only. How can you play flute while eating? Not possible. He has to stop flute to eat something. So Yashoda Mata said, you should eat something. And Krishna is not listening. Then Yashoda Mata called Subala. You please induce your dear friend to eat. Then Subala managed something and then he made Krishna eat some tambula. But as soon as Krishna came out of Govardhan, all the motherly gopis surrounded this 7-year-old boy Krishna and they took Krishna's hand and started massaging the hand. So with this hand, you lifted Govardhan mountain, they started kissing the hand and massaging the hand. Out of their motherly affection. Then Krishna picked up flute and started playing flute. So Krishna said, all of you should go home. And Krishna also went home. The next day he came. He knows Indra is going to come to beg forgiveness. Meanwhile, what happened in the upper planets is that Indra did a mistake, he realized the mistake, he regretted for the mistake, he went to Brahma for a solution. Brahma said, oh, Indra, you did this mistake? In 24th chapter? In 14th chapter I have a mistake. Just 11 chapters back, I was also in your situation. At least you brought all the Brajavasis together for 1 week, but I separated them for 1 year. Both are happening by Krishna's will. Yesterday, this boy Krishna asked, why did Krishna allow Brajavasis, why did Krishna allow these little Gopas to get separated from himself? If Brahma has stolen the illusory Gopas, and if Krishna had hidden the original Gopas, Krishna could have used the original Gopas to go back home. But why did he have to expand himself into Gopas and calves? Intelligent question. Then I said Krishna wanted to fulfill the desire of all the motherly gopis who wanted to serve Krishna like Mother Yashoda. Therefore Krishna gave a break to the original Gopas and he took their forms and experienced that Vasilyas. So even if Brahma steals calves and Gopas, Brahma is not on an upper hand. Brahma cannot create any disturbance in Vrindavan. If Krishna sanctions, Krishna's Leela Shakti facilitates, then only it will happen. Now Brahma started chastising Indra. Not just chastising, he said, see, I also did this, but you need to... Brahma only played a trick by stealing the calves and within a moment he realized, he went back. But Indra did not just steal something. Indra wanted to destroy everybody. That's a grave offense. What Brahma did is not such a grave offense compared to Indra's. So Brahma was counseling Indra, then Brahaspati and many other sages, Bhrugu, so many sages were there in that assembly. They said that You need to beg forgiveness from Krishna. For that, you cannot go alone. You need a recommendation letter. Who can give Krishna loves cows? In the material world also there is a Goloka planet. In that Goloka planet there is Surabhi cow. You go and beg that Surabhi cow to beg forgiveness from Krishna on your behalf. Then, to cut the long story short, Krishna went to Surabhi cow. Indra went to Surabhi cow. And Surabhi agreed. Surabhi, Indra, they both came to Krishna in Vrindavan. Krishna is playing with the boys there. And Krishna understood Indra is going to come. Krishna slightly separated himself from the Gopas and he came close to Govardhan just to give a private audience to Indra. Because he is embarrassed, he is humiliated, Krishna did not want to humiliate him further. When somebody is already humiliated, you can't humiliate them even further. You need to be sensitive to their situation. So Krishna is very sensitive to Indra. Yesterday we saw this is one of the qualities of Krishna, forgiving, accommodative. So Indra came and first Surabhi went and said, Krishna is in a light mood, he will definitely forgive you, please come. So Indra and Surabhi both came and Indra begged forgiveness and Krishna gave a warning. I'm just cutting it short. It's a long conversation. Then finally Krishna said, Indra, you please understand what your position is. You are my subordinate and I have empowered you. Not in a rude manner, but just mentioning the facts. When Krishna apparently boasts about himself, that is to boost our faith in him. That is to reinstate us back in our original constitutional position as servants and not be overwhelmed by other designations, material identities. That is, out of his kindness, he is reminding us of his position and reminding us of our position. It's not about boasting himself. Then Indra said, my dear Krishna, can you please protect my son, Arjuna? My partial expansion, Arjuna, has taken birth as one of the Pandavas. Very soon you will conclude your Vrindavan pastimes, you will go to Mathura, you will go to Dwaraka, you will go to Hastinapur, then please take care of my son. Krishna said, okay, fine. Internally he is thinking, you don't have to recommend, he is my friend, he is a better devotee than you, he knows things better. But still, Krishna said, okay. Then Surabhi said that, Krishna, this is not real Indra, you are our real Indra. Indra means the ruler, the boss. You are our real Indra. So you please allow us to coronate you as the ruler of Vrindavan, as the master of Vrindavan. So Krishna allowed that to happen. And they all did Abhishek. Surabhi did Abhishek with her milk. And so many devatas manifested there. Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, Shiva. So many people manifested there on their respective vehicles. They offered Abhishek to Krishna, they offered various presentations to Krishna. In Ananda Vrindavan Temple, you will find an elaborate description of this Abhishek ceremony. So after this whole thing happened, they did Aarti to Krishna. Meanwhile, all the Gopa boys who were playing there, they saw, where is Krishna? We are playing and we can't find Krishna. They looked in the direction. They saw Brahma, they saw Indra, they saw Shiva, they saw Kartikeya, they saw so many devatas, and they became little curious. They started running towards Krishna. Devatas noticed it. Devatas disappeared with their Aarti plates living there. Then Krishna is alone there. All the Gopa boys came there. They said, Krishna, who are those people who you met? Then Krishna said, I don't know, who are they? Krishna played innocent. Then Gopas saw Aarti plate there. We saw they are worshipping you. We will also worship you. They picked up that same Aarti plates and they started worshipping Krishna. They did Aarti to Krishna. And Krishna liked this Aarti more than that Aarti. Because that Aarti is done with reverence, but this Aarti is done with love, playful innocence. So then they all went back to all the Gopas and cows went back to the village. Then Madhumangal and all the Gopas started narrating what has happened, what they have seen in the forest to Nanda Maharaj and elder Gopas. They said that, Nanda Maharaj, we have seen a man with 4 heads. We have seen another man with 1,000 eyes. We have seen another man sitting on a big bull. We have seen this person, that person, they are all worshipping Krishna. They are doing arti to Krishna. Oh really? Then what did you do then? We also did that. And the elder Gopa said, we will also do arti. And all the elderly Gopas and Gopis, they made arti plates and they started worshipping Krishna. That evening Krishna got 3 artis. One from Devatas, one from Gopas, younger Gopas, one from elder Gopis. So this is how Govardhan Lila ended. Crisp. Any questions?
We are all lost in them.
Comments?
We are under Govardhan.
Correct. Yeah, the basement is like Govardhan.
Nobody wants to go back home.
Prabhuji, it looked like we all were part of Govardhan. It was like a picture we were seeing, real picture you showed us.
Correct. Probably would have. Huh? Sorry? Anvika? Okay, thank you so much. I humbly thank all of you for your kindness and love and affection. What love, affection, encouragement that I received here from devotees of Atlanta last 4 days. I feel I don't deserve it, but still I feel so fortunate and blessed and grateful for whatever I have received. The enthusiasm and the eagerness that you have to discuss Krishna Katha is really unparalleled, and the love and affection that you shower on the guests is really unparalleled. I never felt like I'm a guest here. And also your personal demeanor and dealings are extremely inspiring to me. I'm going from here tomorrow morning with carrying so much of inspiration and loving memories and memories of sweet interactions with so many simple-hearted, dedicated, sincere, experienced devotees here. I need to name so many people, but still let me restrain myself. So thank you so much, and I heartily thank His Grace Adigadadhar Prabhu for organizing this whole thing. And last but not least, I must thank His Grace Amarendra Prabhu. Although he is not here, he is unwell, but still it is his loving friendship that I think pulled me here.
Very well.
And of course, definitely, I have many other devotees here, but still, Prabhu's kathas, Prabhu's love, his personal conduct, behavior, dealings, and encouragement, so all that I cherish a lot, and I cannot express so much after speaking for us. But still, I'm very grateful for everything that I have received here. Thank you so much. I just need your blessings and prayers. That's all I can ask for in the end.
Keep coming, Prabhu.
Anvika, take Prabhuji is giving a gift. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, as is our tradition, in the end we will have some question answers now. So if you have any questions, you can please raise your hand. I will leave the microphone with Prabhuji. You can just ask your question loudly. Yes, Amrit Gaurangi Mataji.
Thank you very much for this 4 days of inspiring association. Thank you so much for relish all the pastimes. One question I have from today's class today. So you mentioned about how we have to follow in the footsteps of acharyas while talking about the leelas. So how do we know if it's following the footsteps or are we trying to imitate? How do we tell ourselves or correct ourselves? Are we trying to imitate or are we trying to follow the footsteps? Is there a way for us to know that?
Anusara, Anukara. Are we following? Are we imitating? When somebody imitates, the intention behind imitation is to get the respect, to get the glory of the other person. Oh, they did this and they became famous, I will also do it, I will also become famous. And when somebody is imitating, they don't understand whether they are eligible to do it or not. Just like Prabhupada gives this example. Hanuman lifted a mountain. Can you lift a mountain? Shiva drank poison. Can you drink poison? That is imitation. But Hanuman chanted the names of Lord Ram. You can chant the names of Lord Ram. So when you are following, you will follow what good example they have set, and without any intention to get the glory, get the fame that they have. It's a teaching. It's an example set by them. Like if I follow that example, good example, I will also become a better devotee. So that's the intention behind following. And what to follow and what not to follow also there. You cannot drink poison, but you can always be devoted to Krishna. Vaishnavana Gatha Shambhu. That inspiration we can take. So Shiva tolerated. Shiva tolerated all the blasphemy of Daksha. Let me cultivate that tolerance. So, and also somebody who is following, he follows with great respect for the other devotee. But when somebody is imitating, he wants to supersede or compete with the other devotee. There's a comparison there. Or even though you don't want to surpass or supersede, still, because they became famous by doing it, let me also do it. There's like one perspective, there can be much more nuance to it. There's just one thought. Does it make sense?
Yes, thank you so much. One more question, Prabhu, small. So your way of singing the verses is different. I mean, it is something very unique and nice, Prabhu. So how did you get that verses?
I don't know. I have no idea. Since childhood, we were taught to recite Gita shlokas in our school. 8th standard to 10th standard, there was some shloka recitation session. And after joining ISKCON, I saw many devotees reciting. Couple of meters I have learned by hearing Amarendra Prabhu. Some meters I picked up from hearing some children in our online classes. They said, we recited this shloka, Prabhu, see this and voice note. And hearing that, I think very wonderful way of reciting. I learned that. I think one tune I learned like that. Couple of tunes I learned from Amarendra Prabhu. And hearing devotees hearing there. There was no training for me, no formal education in sloka recitation.
I have two questions. One is from online. So we have like unlimited rasa or pleasure to hear Krishna Katha. Like we can sit for 4 hours, 5 hours to like hear nice Katha, but like we don't have as much. Like if you ask us to sit for 4 hours, 5 hours and chant, like it doesn't translate that well. Like we're able to listen a lot more than we are able to chant japa or kirtan.
Svaranatmika bhakti, Mayyeva Manadhatsva, is to engage your mind in Krishna's service. Chanting. Your mind plays the key role. Intelligence has very limited role, hardly any role. Senses means very limited role. Their mind plays key role. Then Mai Buddhim Niveshaya. In hearing Katha or studying Shastra, intelligence plays prominent role. And in doing practical physical services, body, senses play key role. So in the initial stages of devotional service as a struggling sadhaka, our body, engaging senses is more practical and easier for most sadhakas. But engaging intelligence is little tougher. But compared to engaging mind, engaging intelligence becomes easier. 8 hours of chanting is very exhausting. 8 hours of hearing, okay. 8 hours of service, of course. No problem. 8 hours of service is easier than 8 hours of studying or hearing. 8 hours of studying and hearing may be easier than 8 hours of chanting. Ideally speaking, in chanting you are not exerting yourself much. That is supposed to be the easiest. But we find that the toughest. Because there we are trying to engage mind. Here we are engaging senses. Here there is a lot of exertion, but exerting the senses is easier for us because of passion, because of being hyperactive, because of lack of concentration. So when the senses are getting heavy engagement, then mind switches off. But when the senses are idle, mind becomes turbulent. But eventually we will overcome this stage by taking shelter of Krishna. One day we will come to that stage.
The second question was, so we see Krishna wanted to perform Damodara Lila, so that was Krishna's Icha. So which should we take came first? Like, was it Indra's free will pride to commit offense against the devotees, and then Krishna used that situation to do the Leela, or Krishna wanted to do the Leela first and that influenced Indra to become bad?
Which came first, we cannot figure out many times. Krishna is so expert that he can utilize somebody's tendency to misuse his free will to enact his pastimes also. And Krishna can use somebody's tendency to misuse his free will to give the quota of karma that other person is supposed to receive. I desire to slap, and this devotee has a tendency to slap. Krishna will bring us together, and I will get my slap. I got my karma. But what about the other devotee? He is just acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. Not like that. He is misusing his free will also. Right? For that he may get slap from someone else also. Right? But Krishna optimizes all the resources and brings people, their minute independence is being operated, and Krishna's will is also being operated, and everything is being properly acknowledged, and Krishna runs the show. Which happened first, which happens later, that we cannot exactly figure out. And ultimately Krishna is the cause of all causes. That's an eternal fact.
Hare Krishna, Ruji, Dandavat Pranam. I have one question, it's like very simple, but it is like, how should one connect with Krishna? Because when we hear all this, we feel emotionally like attached, and we feel that, okay, we need to do something good and all. But sometimes outside of this, our intelligence says that, hey, you cannot do all these things and all. So, like, is it the emotion or the intelligence? Which is the best way to connect with Krishna?
Connecting with Krishna through emotion is the highest. Bhava Bhakti. But in sadhana bhakti, we use our senses more. Intelligence is there, but that intellectual conviction is translated into a physical action. But in sadhana bhakti, intelligence and senses play maximum role. In bhava bhakti, emotions play higher role, more role. And the result of sadhana bhakti is bhava bhakti. The result of engaging our senses with an intellectual conviction is to develop an emotion for Krishna. So sadhana bhakti culminates in bhava bhakti. Of course, in sadhana bhakti there is little emotion, but not so much. It's not a consistent emotion. On a festival day, you just feel, oh no, the deities are so nice. You get some kind of emotional connection with Krishna. But it will not stay for a longer time. After a few minutes or maybe few hours, it will just go away. Festival is over, you came out, back to normal. It's like that. There is no consistent emotion in sadhana bhakti. But in bhava, there is a consistent emotion. And in prema bhakti, that emotion becomes really condensed and becomes intense love. But sadhana bhakti will take some time.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was very interesting to hear you today. I just have a question on suffering. Like you mentioned in your talk that Krishna likes that anxiety that's created in us, and kind of it helps us get close to Him. But sometimes there is series of suffering that people have to suffer. But then on the contrary, Krishna loves his devotees, so he cannot see the pain or suffering, so he's meant to protect. But why does that happen, this series of sufferings that we all have to go through sometimes? And I'm kind of not sure what's happening. Is Krishna happy with the anxiety that's created, that is bringing us closer, but then that's not taking away the pain, or is he feeling pain, is he feeling our pain at the same time?
Three kinds of people suffer in this world. Karmis suffer because of their karma. They are not practicing bhakti. They are just doing karma, material karma, papa karma, punya karma. If they do papa karma, there is suffering. If they do punya karma, there is happiness. Both are material. So that is one. And devotees also suffer. Those who are practicing devotional service, they also suffer. Not exactly because of karma. Karma nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajanam. Although karma is supposed to be burnt when somebody takes to bhakti, still devotees also suffer. Not necessarily because of karma, but because of the anarthas they have, because of the aparats they do. Vaishnava aparat, dhama aparat, nama aparat, Guru aparat, Seva aparat, so many aparats they do, because of that they will suffer. Although it may not be exactly because of karma. You can read 10.14.8 purport. There is mentioned. They are practicing bhakti, sadhaka bhaktas. They are suffering because of the anarthas and aparats. But pure devotees, where do they suffer? Pure devotees are Pandavas, Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Draupadi, Kunti. Chitraketu Maharaj has slight tinge of pride, but some are like very pure devotees like Pandavas. Just take their example. They also suffer. They are not practicing devotees. They have no karma, that's clear. They don't belong to the first category. They are not practicing devotees. They don't have aparadhas or anarthas. So second category, they don't belong to second category also. They are pure devotees. Still they suffer by Krishna's way. In their case, Krishna wants to show an example to everybody. Although my devotees are subjected to intense suffering, they don't give up their faith in me. He said series of sufferings. Yes, Kunti Maharani experienced a series of sufferings. Vishan Mahagneha Purushada Darshana Tasat Sabhaya Vanavasa Kritsrata Vridhe Vridhe Aneka Maharatha Astrato Draumyastritasasma Hari Bhirakshita. She suffered and Pandava suffered series of sufferings. Bhishma says, Aho Kashtam, Aho Anyayam Yadyuyam Dharmanandana. Jivitam Narhata Krishnam Vipra Dharmachyutashraya. You experienced so many difficulties, so many injustices. Difficulties are at one level. Some unpleasant circumstances are there, you are suffering, that's difficult. Injustice means somebody is deliberately making you suffer. It's raining, you are suffering, that's difficulty. But somebody is backstabbing us, somebody is cheating us. Just like Pandavas are subjected to not only difficulties, they are subjected to injustices also. Their wife is insulted, their kingdom is taken away. They are experiencing so many injustices also. Aho kashtam aho nyayam. But what made you survive and thrive through these difficulties? Vipra dharma achyuta ashraya. Vipra, in this context devotees. Dharma, in this context bhakti. Achyuta, Krishna. You have always taken shelter of these three B's. Bhakta, Bhakti and Bhagavan. Despite encountering so many injustices and troubles, you have never given up taking shelter of Bhakti, Bhagavan and Bhaktas. Therefore you survive. So Krishna wanted to demonstrate through the example of Pandavas that devotees are so faithful. Devotees never give up the path of bhakti or association of devotees despite facing so many difficulties. Through them, Krishna wants to teach us a lesson. And also, if there are only series of happy moments, it may seem monotonous. If there is a distressful moment and then there is a happy moment, then the transition is very relishable. As I said sometime ago, after eating a mirchi, your gulab jamun appears tasty. After eating 3 gulab jamuns, 1 more gulab jamun, series of happiness is not so exciting. So just like love also is experienced in happiness and distress, happiness of meeting and distress of separation. So even Vrindavan also, there are distressful moments, there are happy moments. But the distress is also happiness ultimately, because in distress of separation from Krishna, they are remembering Krishna even more. On the material plane, suffering is suffering, happiness is also suffering. On the spiritual plane, happiness is happiness, suffering is also happiness. So when pure devotees are subjected to apparent material suffering, they are actually experiencing Krishna's special grace and remembrance. They are being nourished by intensely remembering Krishna in a situation of unhappiness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I've kind of come across many high devotees who actually are suffering with physical body sufferings, and sometimes I question and say, why?
Those who are experiencing that intense physical pain, whether it is cancer or some other chronic disease, they are bedridden. Some of those devotees also mention, I don't want to exchange my position with anyone. Why? In this situation, I am experiencing intense connection with Krishna, deep connection, deep bonding with Krishna. In this situation, I am able to feel that gratitude towards all the devotees who are supporting me. In a materially comfortable situation, I am forgetting Krishna, and I am not sufficiently feeling grateful to other devotees. But this situation is helping me with soft emotions and intense, deeper bonding with Krishna. So they said like that also. Yes, this is helping me. So whatever helps us to connect with Krishna better, even if it is a materially unpleasant circumstance, it's fine. So what is happiness and distress? Apparently, death may be unhappiness, disease may be unhappiness, or some financial crisis or some other crisis may be distress. But to forget Krishna is distress. For a devotee, remembering Krishna is happiness, forgetting Krishna is distress. If material distress is making them remember Krishna on a spiritual plane, material distress is welcome. Focus is not on remembering Krishna, not on distress. So devotees transcend this material happiness and distress. Samadukha sukham dhiram somurtatkaya kalpati. How many times Krishna repeated this teaching of samatva? Be equipoised towards happiness and distress, victory and defeat, success and failure, heat and cold. Because both are material, both are temporary. Temporary dualities have no permanent effect. Krishna said that sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. There is labha, alabha, jaya, jaya. Whatever. Duality is on the level of mind, duality is on the level of body, duality is on the level of ego. Sukha, dukkha is on the level of Sitoshna sukha dukkhesu tatha manapa manayo. Sita and Ushna, heat and cold, are on the level of body. Sukha and dukkha are on the level of mind. Man and apman, respect and disrespect, are on the level of ego. In all levels, maintain equanimity. And that maintenance of equanimity is real yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga. Yoga means connection with Krishna. And to connect with Krishna, you need to have equanimity towards happiness and distress. If you are so overwhelmed by happiness and distress, if you are so affected by happiness and distress, if you are so elated and overconfident and you are so proud of happy moments and success, and if you are so discouraged and depressed and demotivated by distress, we are not ready for yoga. That's why Krishna said, Sama dukkha sukham dhiram so amritatvaya kalpati. If you have to be ready for amritatva, sama dukkha sukham dhiram is required. So happiness and distress are meant to make us much stronger and be connected to Krishna more rather than being overwhelmed. Because whether it is a comfortable situation or a unpleasant situation, ultimately it's material, it's temporary. Let's not take it so seriously. In fact, all the distressful moments will help us to be detached. If we have a comfortable material situation, we become attached to this world. Being attached to this world, how painful it is, that's more distress. Material happiness that induces attachment to the material world is a cause of entanglement in this world. But material distress that induces detachment is a bliss, is a boon to us. So let's not hate distress. Let's use that to develop detachment from the material world and develop attachment to Krishna. Does it make sense?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu,
Yeah, you can ask.
many devotees have the main source of distress is the family members or the closest relatives. And, devotees are so quick, to distance themselves, keep the distance, because they think that, Radha, Krishna and all other devotees are their family members. So it's so quick for them to distance themselves from the other relatives. Because, so my question to you is that a prarabdha of family members?
For a devotee,
Because it's your swadharma to take care of the family. And now you're trying to distance yourself from family members. So is that a prarabdha?
a devotee takes to bhakti not to distance oneself from biological family members, but to consider every single living being as a family member of Krishna. And love them all. Yesterday we defined, right? Love of God. Loving God, loving those who love God, devotees, loving those who are trying to love God, sadhakas, loving those whom God loves, every single living entity. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichiva swapake cha panditaha samadarshina. So, spiritual life is meant to give us that equanimity. Just now we discussed equanimity not only towards situations, equal disposition towards people also. All are Krishna's children, parts and parcels. Every living being is a servant of Krishna, potentially. They are somewhere in their spiritual journey where they are not so evolved, or they are beginners, or they have not yet begun also. But everybody is potentially pure devotee. Everybody has an opportunity and chance and potential to be reconnected to Krishna. Thus, look at them as souls rather than seeing them as human beings, men, women, Indians, Americans, family members, biological family, relatives and non-relatives, outsiders. That discrimination, at least intellectually, we should not have. Although for all practical purposes, immediate family deserves your immediate attention, but at least on an intellectual level, we need to understand everybody is a child of God. So as far as distancing from people is concerned, whether they're relatives or non-relatives, a devotee makes this choice. If being with them is favorable for my devotional service, I'll be with them. But if it is unfavorable for my devotees, I'll maintain a respectful distance and respect them from a distance, instead of disrespecting them by reducing the distance. Right? So if there is a family relation, acknowledge it. Be with them. But if they closely connecting with them is disturbing you and distracting in your bhakti, then keep it minimal. No, you don't have to cut it, but keep it minimal. That's what Mother Kunti said. Atha Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishwamurte Svakeshu me Sneha Pashami Mamchindi Dradham Pandushu Vrishnishu. Please cut this tight knot of bondage that I have towards Pandus and Vishnus. You see, Vishnus are her parental family. Pandavas are her husband's family. Her own sons. She says, cut this. Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi. I have deep bondage of affection towards Pandavas and Vishnus. Cut this. And do what? Tvayi menanya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit ratim udvaha tadadha gange vaugham udanvati. Let my mind flow towards you like Ganga flows towards ocean. But star conditions apply. She did not want to cut relationship with the Pandavas or Vrishnis, literally. She had two kinds of relationships with them. One is the skin relation, second is the soul relation. One is the biological family relation, second is a spiritual relation. They are devotees, she is a devotee. Therefore, there is a spiritual relation. They are her sons or family members. There is a physical relation, which is temporary. That has a beginning and that has an end. This need not have an end. So spiritually, there is more connection here. Materially, here, cut this material aspect of our relationship. Preserve the spiritual relationship. Thus, we can spiritualize our relationships. Spiritualize our friendships. We'll be bringing Krishna in the center. And there's no question of cutting a relationship or developing a relationship with anyone. It's all Krishna-centered interactions. But amongst all these people, we may have close friends. We may not be very close to everybody in the community, but we have some close friends. That's fine. Perfectly all right. For all practical reasons. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hare
Hare.
Hare.